Mercedes-Benz, new or used, is a car apart. At Auto House, we know Mercedes-Benz. We're your authorized dealer, and we found that people tend to take care of a Mercedes-Benz. They know it pays to properly maintain and service their automobiles. You will feel it when you get behind the wheel, and you'll see why, year after year, a Mercedes-Benz, no matter what model, no matter what year, holds its value better than any luxury car made in America. Talk to Hank Snyder, our used car manager at Auto House. He spends all of his time with our inventory of fine used Mercedes-Benz automobiles. He'll make certain you find the model you want. We're Auto House, 14185 Dallas Parkway. Call us at 233-0313 when you're ready to talk Mercedes-Benz.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Won't you join me once again for an adventure in mystery and suspense, where space is as boundless and as unlimited as your imagination, and time is measured by the beat of your heart. Most of us know who we are, but how many of us know why we are? Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. Is each man's lot ordained from the beginning and fated to be, or not to be? Or is it all a random throw of the dice, a casual flip of a coin? Do we tamper with fate at our peril?
Who is it?
Police.
How do I know?
You got a chain lock, lady. Just open the door a couple inches. You can see my badge.
Oh, my goodness. What a relief. Please, come in. I saw this man. He was prowling around in the dark, outside in the back. I was so frightened.
Can you describe him?
Well, he was tall.
How tall?
Tall, about like you are.
What else?
And he had broad shoulders, like you have. Why are you looking at me like that? Please, don't look at me like... No! No, don't come any closer. Why would you want to hurt me? No! No! Please!
Our mystery drama, 3 Times, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars William Redfield. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act 1.
And now another story of the ball and chain as Kellogg's Special K presents Veronica and Jeff.
Oh, Jeffrey, isn't this romantic? Out in a quiet lake at night with you rowing the boat.
Yes, Veronica, it's really neat.
Jeffrey, what was that?
Frogs.
Frogs that go bonk?
They're pretty weird frogs.
Oh, Jeffrey, you're such a card. You have a ball and chain, like the ones they use in those Special K commercials.
Yes, Veronica, it symbolizes my few pounds of extra weight, but I'm going to get rid of it.
How?
By exercising. You know, like rowing this boat and eating smart at every meal, starting with a Special K breakfast.
You mean a 1 ounce bowl of high-protein Special K, 4 ounces of skim milk, orange juice, and coffee?
Precisely. It's less than 240 calories, and it tastes delicious. It'll help me get rid of this ball and chain.
I'll help too, Jeff. After all, we're all in the same boat.
You have a ball and chain, too.
Your happy ending could begin with the Special K breakfast from Kellogg's.
How do you do? Can I help you?
Yeah, I just want a can of Rust-Oleum. What do you mean, I got some patio furniture that's getting rusty. And I know Rust-Oleum comes in lots of colors, and it'll stop that rust, and I want some of it. Look, this is a retail store, right?
Right.
You sell people like me the things we want, right?
Right.
And I want some Rust-Oleum, right?
Right.
So you're going to sell me some, right? And why not?
Well, we think people should use Rust-Oleum only on weekends. Today's only Tuesday. If you took some Rust-Oleum home today, you'd want to try it right away. Once you saw how easy it is to use Rust-Oleum and how good it looks, why, you'd want to touch up everything that needs touching up, and that might take you through Thursday, and your boss will be calling to find out how come you missed work for 2 days. Now, do you think we want a thing like that in our conscience? That's why we sell Rust-Oleum only on weekends.
But I'm on vacation.
When the weekends come, use Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum.
Consider Napoleon. Historians agree that his doom at Waterloo had been ordained some 3 years before in his costly victory at Borodino, a tiny village on the road to Moscow. They say that at Borodino, he lost the flower of his army. And why did he lose so many of his best soldiers? Because he was unable to think clearly. The reason? He was suffering from a severe cold. Why? Well, we know that his orderly had gotten drunk the day before and thus neglected to have a pair of dry boots ready for the great general. And so, in a very real sense, this unnamed, unknown, obscure military servant changed the course of history. Those are the facts. We may ask, why was the orderly drunk? Did it just happen? Or was it all part of a plan? Is every single action on the part of every living thing prescribed, ordained, decreed? We don't know. We're just asking, as will some of the people you're about to meet.
All Area 4 units proceed to 160 South Benton. Reported holdup in progress. Repeat. All cars to 160 South Benton. It's an antique shop. Suspected holdup in progress.
I tell you, I have nothing.
Easy. If you hit him any harder, you'll kill him. Listen, Grandpa. Be smart, huh?
Take my money. It's in the drawer. Take my money.
We don't want your money, Grandpa. All we want is that little statue. Now, you got it here somewhere. Get it.
Please don't.
You hand it over, Grandpa. Hand it over.
Hold it right there. Drop those guns.
Sure, officer. Sure thing.
You okay, sir?
I think so. There's 2 men.
I know. Take it easy.
Greenway, what happened?
I guess that...
Hey, Red, get on the radio and get us an ambulance, huh?
Sergeant, they both had guns. One was pistol whipping this old man.
Sir, we'd better get you to a doctor.
I'm sorry to have caused you so much trouble.
They started to shoot as soon as they saw me. I guess I was luckier than both of them.
Yeah, you did a good job. Hey, Greenway, what is it?
I've been a cop for 8 years. It's the first time I ever had to draw the gun out of the holster.
Can you drive?
Drive? Oh, sure.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll get Smitty to take your car. You come back with me. Write up your report.
Now?
Sure, right now, while it's fresh.
Don?
Yeah, it's me.
I heard about it. It was on the radio.
Yeah, it's going to be on the TV news, too. Before we could even get out of the place, everybody was there. Microphones, cameras. 2 men and...
And what?
Well, nobody seems to realize that...
Don, everybody knows they're...
Look, honey, I can't explain it. These 2 men, their lives are finished, see? I ended the world for them. They don't exist anymore. That's what being is.
Don, you had no choice.
I know.
It's part of your job.
I know. I guess I never looked at that part of the job. I always had the idea I was a cop because I wanted to help people.
You helped that poor old man today. You saved his life.
I understand, honey. I know all the arguments.
And what is it?
I just never thought I'd have to go for the gun.
Don.
I feel as if some part of me is gone.
What?
I don't know. When I saw those two men on the floor, I felt that some part of me simply disappeared. Something in my mind.
Something like what?
I don't know, but it's something that I felt was very special and important to me, and now it's gone. It's disappeared.
What you did was absolutely necessary.
I agree, but it doesn't change the basic fact, which is I killed. Listen, how about dinner?
I didn't know how you feel, so it's wide open.
Okay, let's go out.
Sure.
Dress up. I'll take you to Ferretti's.
Oh, we're going to make this an occasion.
Well, it is an occasion, I guess. Maybe it marks my coming of age.
4816 South Torrance Drive. Report a man is beating up his wife. Oh, talking about wives. 21, Greenway. You with us this afternoon, Don?
Yes, Sergeant.
Your wife wants you to call her on your coffee break.
Something wrong, Sarge?
Why don't you take your break right now?
He said he wants to entertain both of us this evening at his home.
Are you sure?
He said his name was Mr. Sanchez, the one whose life you saved.
Oh, I thought it was something important.
It is important. Well, that is, he made it seem like a matter of life and death. Look, I already promised him we'd be there.
May I pour you some more wine?
It's delicious.
My dear friend, I am so sorry I could not thank you earlier.
Look, it's not necessary to thank me. I did my job, nothing more.
Unfortunately, I have been in the hospital for the past week, so I have been unable to show my appreciation. And tomorrow my business takes me abroad for an indefinite period, and so it must be tonight or never.
Well, what do you mean?
Consider this tiny statue.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Hardly 6 inches tall and is pure gold.
It's exquisitely made.
See? The figure of a woman, and twined around her, a serpent. Now, why do I show you this? Because this is the object those two thugs were after.
Oh. But why? I mean, what did they know about it?
Probably nothing. Perhaps someone had paid them to get it.
Who?
It could be anyone. That is, anyone who might be aware of the legend that surrounds this statue.
A legend of Don.
It is said that whoever owns this statue will be granted 3 wishes.
Well, oh, no.
Oh, don't mind him, Mr. Sanchez. He's always skeptical about everything.
Now, do you know what year this is, Mr. Sanchez? All that went out with the Arabian Nights.
Son, can't we have a little romance?
You say that the statue will grant you 3 wishes, so why didn't you use it to save yourself when those hoods were beating you up?
I did.
What do you mean you did?
I wished to be saved, and you arrived.
Mr. Sanchez, I arrived because I got a call on the police radio.
But you arrived, and it was their 2 guns against your 1. And they fired first, yet you killed them both. How?
What are you getting at, Mr. Sanchez?
Everything or nothing. Now, I wish to make you a gift.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Of this statue.
Don!
No, please, that's out of the question. Besides, why would you want to give it away since you seem to be convinced that it works?
Because when I asked to be saved, that was my 3rd wish.
Mr. Sanchez, I appreciate what you want to do, but it's illegal for me to accept payment for performance in the line of duty.
This is not payment. It is a token, a gift. Look, I am leaving the country for an indefinite period. I am an old man. I cannot make any long-range plans. I may never see you again.
There is no way to slice this to make it come out differently, Mr. Sanchez.
Are you saying that there is no way I can show you my appreciation?
No way beyond the thank you, and I've already received that. Ella, look, it's getting late.
But, Don, Mr. Sanchez is very sincere.
I know he is. It's still getting late.
Before you go, consider. In the ordinary way, I should be dead. That was the obvious way fate was working. However, by means of this statue, I changed it. In doing so, I also changed your life. You're a different man because of me.
I'm the same man I always was.
You don't realize it yet. So, take the statue.
Look, I'm very sorry, sir, but
You may need it. You may even now be headed for a fate that you may wish to change.
Mr. Sanchez, thank you for an excellent dinner and a very pleasant evening. Ella, tomorrow's an early day for me.
Then there is nothing I can say to you?
I'm afraid not. Wow, honey, this is a spread.
I thought you'd be hungry tonight.
Look at that steak. Oh, you even baked a pie.
Yes, I did.
Look, I'm going to have to start losing weight soon.
Don, I have to tell you something.
Sure, what?
Well, at first I thought maybe I could keep it a secret, but...
Hey, what is it?
Look up there. On the shelf.
On the statue.
Before you say another word, it's mine.
Yours?
Listen, Don. He stopped off here this afternoon on the way to the airport. He asked me to accept the statue.
Couldn't you tell him that I can't?
I told him. I even told him I couldn't accept it as a gift either.
Well, so how does it happen that it's sitting
Well, he said, let me sell it to you.
Sell it?
Let me sell it to you, he said, for $50.
$50? It's worth at least $1,000.
Don, he convinced me we might need this statue one day.
Honey, for what?
Who knows? Anyhow, it's my statue. I have the bill of sale made out to me. Here it is. Now, what would you like me to wish for?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. And Ella, I want your word of honor that you will never use that statue to wish for anything.
But, Don...
I want your promise.
But you can't be serious.
Look, I'll tell you how serious I am. If you ever make a wish on that statue, I will break up our marriage. Now, can I have your promise?
Why is Don so upset? Is it such a bad thing to have a wish come true? Well, it is, according to both Aesop and James Russell Lowell, because both of them said, granting our wish is one of fate's saddest jokes. Even so, and with all due respect to those two great men, wouldn't most people jump at the chance to get a wish gratified? The proposition will be tested when I return in a few moments with Act 2.
You don't see many people putting salt in their beer nowadays. Not that there's anything wrong with salt on radishes or French fries, but man, not in the king of beers. Truth is, the only thing salt can do for Budweiser is make it salty. An unwise thing to do to the only beer in America that's Beechwood aged. Unsalted Budweiser has become the most popular beer in the world. That's because in brewing Bud, the Budweiser brewmaster goes all the way for a taste, a smoothness, a drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. And something else you can take without a grain of salt. The fact that when you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
I never thought I'd admit it. I'm Susan X, and I used to be a deodorant switcher. I kept switching from one underarm spray to another, looking for one that gives me everything I want. And I found it. It's called Body All. Body All is different. It says so right on the label. Its deodorant is micro-encapsulated, so I get a fresh surge of deodorant every time I perspire. Now that I switched to Body All, I promise I'll never switch again.
This is Al Wisk. Southern Methodist University and the Southwest Conference will be our topics Tuesday night on Sports Central Dallas. My guest will be SMU's athletic director, Dick Davis. We'll talk about the Mustangs and the expansion of soccer in SMU's athletic program. We'll look at what's brewing in the Southwest Conference, like the postseason basketball tournament. SMU athletic director, Dick Davis, our guest, Tuesday night, 6:15 to 7 p.m., right here on KRLD, the sports voice of the great Southwest.
It's a tiny statue, perhaps 6 inches high, made of the purest gold and the finest workmanship. It's the figure of a beautiful woman with a serpent coiled about her waist. It is said to have the power to grant its owner 3 wishes. And would you believe that it's the source of a violent argument between Don and Ella Greenway in this day and age of electronics and jets?
Don, wouldn't it be something, though?
Wouldn't what be something?
If it were all really true. If we could get 3 wishes out of it.
Now, Ella, I meant what I said before. No wishing on that statue.
Don, do you mean you believe the old man? Well, do you?
What's the difference?
But, Don, how could...
Ella, remember what he said last night about how I happened to be there?
Yes, but...
When I pulled up in the squad car and jumped out, I couldn't see inside that shop. Do you know what I mean?
No.
There's a window display. It blocks your view. The door was closed, and it's a heavy wooden door.
What are you trying to tell me?
Listen. The call came in, you see? It was relayed to Sergeant Carter. The assumption was some passerby had seen the holdup.
Well, it has to be what happened.
How? How could anyone on the street have seen anything inside the shop?
Maybe someone passing by heard the old man scream.
Oh, no. See, I was there at the height of it. I didn't hear a thing. I didn't see a thing. Until I threw that door open.
Well,
but what? I got there first because mine was the nearest car to the scene. Each of them got off a shot at me before I could even fire.
Don. Please, I don't even like to think about it.
Ella, I didn't even want to shoot. Would you believe it? I had to force myself to pull the trigger. Still, when the smoke clears, there they are. They're dead. I'm alive. Could there have been, fate or whatever you call it involved there?
On the other hand, it could just be the way things happen sometimes.
That's right. So, let's let things determine themselves, right? For better or for worse.
How would it be if I wished you made sergeant?
I'm going to make sergeant anyhow.
That's true. How about money?
No, Ella, I want you to listen. Forget that statue.
I won't wish for $1 million. Look,
Ella, I'm telling you.
All this is extremely practical and justified. Look, we owe $12,000 on the mortgage.
Ella.
$1,500 on the car.
I don't want to go into all this again.
That's $13,500. We owe $400 for the new roof, and you'll have to have that dental work done. That's another $600. And we've been promising ourselves an air conditioner for the bedroom.
Honey.
And our washing machine is 10 years old. Comes to, say, $15,000.
I don't want to hear any more, Ella.
Don, it's my statue.
Please, Ella,
What is it, Don?
All right. Right, I'll admit it. I'm scared.
Of what?
I don't know. Ever since that shootout, I've had all kinds of crazy ideas.
Crazy ideas?
Well, not crazy so much as mixed up. And I don't even know if they're ideas. They're more like feelings.
Can you...
No, I can't describe them. Honey, just please, listen, don't do anything right now to upset me, okay?
You need a vacation.
I'm all right. Let's just let everything sit for a while. Hey, what time did it get to be? I have to sign in at 5. Goodbye, honey.
Bye, darling.
Ella, just humor me, will you? I mean, promise.
I promise. I promised. And I probably would have kept that promise. But I was loading the dishwasher turned the knob, and nothing happened. I kept clicking the knob, and nothing happened. I was so angry, so frustrated, I finally kicked it. And nothing happened. All we wanted was to live nicely, comfortably. It would take $15,000 to put us ahead of the game. Would that upset fate? I looked at the statue. I remembered the words that Mr. Sanchez had spoken when he left here.
You look at the statue. You say to the statue, I wish for. I wish for $15,000. Go to 45 Stuyvesant. Lady complaining about a streaker. 86 Heatherton. Some drunk is annoying people. Cancel. Area 4, stand by. Checked in 86 39 14 21.
21. I'm at Collins and Walker.
It's a holdup. Merchants Federal, North Main. Perpetrators escaping in blue station wagon headed toward Interstate Highway. At 21.
21.
Head south to Washington and cut them off. All cars toward Washington and Interstate Highway. 21.
21.
You turn east on Washington. Blue wagon headed toward Collins intersection.
21. If alleyway's open past Jefferson, I can shortcut through there. 21. I'm in the alley, coming out on Washington. 21. They just went by me. 21, they turned left into Turnbull. I'm following.
All units west on Turnbull. West on Turnbull.
21, he's trying to swing around. He's crazy.
21, come in, 21.
Mrs. Greenway?
Sergeant Carter. Where is he?
Oh, they just brought him down from the operating room.
Just tell me. Don't try to break it slowly. I have to know.
Well, as of right now, he's still alive.
Oh, thank God.
We had him trapped. They tried to turn around and get by him. It was a head-on crash.
I want to see him.
Sure. Come inside with me.
Come in. I'm Dr. Morris.
Doctor.
He's still unconscious.
But we...
We're doing everything we can. He's surrounded with intensive care.
But really...
Mrs. Greenway, there are different methods of handling a thing like this. I could build up your hopes or...
Or... You can tell me the truth.
I can tell you what appears to be the truth. To us, at this time.
He's not going to make it.
The outlook is not good.
Why is the outlook not good?
There's been an unbelievable shock to his system.
Yes.
There's been some, not very much, but a little brain damage. Nurse, maintain the indicated levels of fluids and oxygen and report even the slightest changes immediately.
May I stay here for a while? I promise not to get in anybody's way.
Of course. Excuse me.
Mrs. Greenway, if there's anything any of us can do...
Thank you, Sergeant.
It's guys like him. God, what's the use? It's usually guys like him who get it. You know, it's funny. He might have had a premonition about it.
What are you saying, Sergeant?
Oh, I don't know. I was just thinking aloud.
No, tell me. Tell me what you mean by a premonition.
Well, it's just how things work out, you know. A couple of months ago, we got this new Benevolent League special insurance, and Don never paid any attention to it. But this morning, before going on duty, he said to me, "Hey, Sarge, hand me a form. I'll sign up."
signed up for special insurance this morning.
Yeah.
How much insurance?
How much? Well, let's see if I can remember. Oh, sure. It was the same as mine. $15,000.
This morning, Ella Greenway stood before a tiny gold statue and wished for $15,000. Taken by itself, we could call it an act of superstition. Now, 14 hours later, her husband is dying, and we find he has just insured his life for, you guessed it, $15,000. Rarely is superstition so scientifically supported by mathematics. We'll have another set of numbers when I return shortly with Act 3.
Hello, Ms. Goldilocks here, and welcome to my professional taste testing laboratory. Oh, Papa Bear, could you bring that case of sugar-free Diet 7-Up over here?
Another case? Miss Goldilocks, you're drinking this sugar-free Diet 7-Up like there's no tomorrow. You can't still be taste testing it.
Oh, no, Papa Bear. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up has already earned my seal of approval. It's fresh, light, natural, delicious. I drink it because I love its taste. Now hurry up.
Okay, here.
This sugar-free Diet 7-Up really tastes delicious. Ladies, if you're tired of switching from one diet drink to another, take some advice from Ms. Goldilocks. Try sugar-free Diet 7-Up and you'll say, yes, this one's just right.
I'll bear witness to that, Goldie.
You know, if we didn't have the name The Gentle Sound, I honestly don't know what we'd call the music. We try to create an environment, sort of an environment for living, you know. And naturally, we want it to be comfortable.
You are the words I am the tune playing.
And not so oddly, I guess, we've ended up with a unique sound. The music, the little comments we add, the news. And I mean that about environment, because that's really what it is. A great place to live. You know what KRLD does, but if you don't listen daily, you probably don't know how well. KRLD is the most listened to station in Dallas. The Gentle Sound is one reason.
If you could have 3 wishes, would you take them? Ella Greenway was warned. Stay with what fate has planned. Accept destiny. Don't improvise. But all she wished for was a modest sum of money to keep up with the cost of living. However, it turns out the price she must pay for the money is her husband's life. 1 wish down. 2 to go.
I don't want the money. I don't want that.
Mrs. Greenway.
Huh?
Mrs. Greenway?
What? Oh, where am I?
Are you all right? Are you all right now?
Oh, I had a dream. I dreamed I was called to the hospital because Don had been killed. And no, it wasn't. It isn't a dream. Don is dying, and I'm here in the hospital. Doctor.
You fainted, and I can understand why. It's been a terrible shock. Dr. Morris? Oh? Very well, I'll be right up there.
Doctor, that was about Don, wasn't it?
Yes.
I can tell by the tone in your voice. It's not good.
I never told you it was good, Mrs. Greenway.
But now it's worse. He's getting worse. He's sinking quickly. It could be a matter of minutes.
Well,
Please tell me.
Yes. He could die at any time.
Sergeant Carter, take me home.
But don't you want to
Take me home. Take me home as quickly as you can. Take me home. I wish for Don to live. I wish for Don to live.
Mrs. Greenway? Oh, Mrs. Greenway.
Oh. Yes. Yes.
I just had to make sure you were okay.
I'm all right.
You had me worried the way you were.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And about Don, well, maybe the doctors don't know everything, you know? Maybe there will be something to...
Don will be all right.
Just remember, if there's anything at all... Well, Mrs. Greenway, aren't you going to answer it?
Answer?
The phone. Okay, don't bother. I will. Hello.
Is that you, Sergeant?
Yeah.
Could you bring Mrs. Greenway back here right away?
We never saw or even heard of such a remarkable turnabout. You could almost say it's a miracle.
Well, why not say it? There was one thing for sure. Mrs. Greenway never gave up hope, never lost faith. Look at that man. He's got his color back.
Respiration, pressure, heartbeat, everything. Everything is perfectly normal. I still can't believe it.
Don.
Ella? Ella, is it you?
It's Ella.
Where are you?
I'm here, Don. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
Hi, honey.
Don! Tell me, how was it?
Well, I'd been away for a while, you know. I was kind of nervous that first day back.
But how did it go?
Oh, it just went.
I was worried about your going back so soon.
Well, it's been more than a month, honey. Besides, the doc wouldn't have held still for it unless I checked out 100%.
Don, did you tell the doctors about
the headaches? Well,
did you?
Honey, everybody gets headaches, and these just come and go.
But yours can get very severe.
If they don't stop, I'll talk about it next time I see it. Listen, what would you like to do tonight? How about a movie?
Sure. Don, what's that on your blouse?
Where?
All over your sleeve. Was it blood?
Blood? What? How would blood get on my sleeve?
Well, it looks like blood.
I can't imagine. Maybe it's paint or some kind of stain or something. You know, I might have brushed up against some.
I better send it to the cleaners first thing. How could it have...
If you haven't started on dinner yet, let's eat out, huh?
All right.
Hey, you know what you forgot to do when I walked in just before?
What?
You forgot to give your old man a kiss.
Oh, Don.
Yeah, that's better. Well, you've got to shape up around here. Can't let you get into bad habits.
Don, you still have a headache?
Headache? No, it's gone. Completely gone. Maybe it'll never come back.
All right, we got some new little goodies for you boys in blue out there. Be alert for stolen Gold Arrow convertible. License plate 1232N, as in nobody. Brand new Toro sedan, shell pink, yes indeedy. Plate number 5498.
21 calling in.
Yes, 21.
Sarge, I think I should come in.
Something wrong, Don?
Oh, I think I'm starting to get a headache.
Where are you?
3100 block on North Sheridan.
Well, this is on your way. Just check it out. A woman, apartment 3A, 560 Cheyenne. That's 2 blocks west of you. Woman reports prowler in the vicinity. She must be a nut. She calls an average of 3 times a week. But take down her story. It makes her feel better. Then come in.
Okay.
there. In here. Oh, come in. Come in. You took your sweet time getting here. I could have been murdered.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, now just tell me.
You ride around in your cars and you think you do a day's work.
Please, madam, just tell me.
I pay my rent. I pay my taxes.
Just tell me what...
Oh, my head. Will you just tell me what you saw?
Don't you yell at me. You're a public servant. My servant. Huh? Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me? No! No, don't! Don't, please! No, please! No!
My head. What a relief. I never want to have another one of... Wait a minute. What am I supposed to be doing? Yeah, I go to apartment 3A. 560 Cheyenne. Woman saw a prowler. I'm here. What the... Lady, are you... calling in. 21 calling in.
You heading in, John?
No, you better be headed out. The prowler was there, all right. She's...
What is it, Doc? Won't know till the autopsy. He hit her a few heavy blows, and that was enough to kill her.
She was lying there. I could see she was close to it, so then I called in.
Then what did you do?
I had to look around the back.
Anything?
Nothing.
From what I can see here, she tried to put up a little bit of a fight anyhow. See?
Yeah.
Slight trace of blood under this fingernail. She might have scratched him.
Well, Don, write it up.
Okay.
Then you can go home.
Home?
Yeah. Didn't you ask to come in because you had a headache?
Oh, yeah, but I don't have one now. I feel great. Oh, sweetie, I'm sorry I was so late for dinner.
I heard about the murder on the news.
Yeah, I know. Oh, she wasn't a pretty sight to see.
Why? Why was she killed?
We don't know.
Well, did you get a chance to see anything?
No, I got the call to go to the address because she complained about a prowler. The next thing I knew, I was in the apartment. She was on the floor.
Don, what do you mean? The next thing you knew?
Well, because that's the next thing that happened. You know, that's how you write your report. You go from one fact to the next. Listen, honey, let's not talk about it, please. I never wanted to be a guy who brings his job home.
Don, what did you do to your face?
Huh? Where?
Well, it looks like a scratch. Just below your right ear.
I don't know.
Well, how did you...
You sure there's a scratch there?
Well, it looks like one.
Well, I might have gotten it from shaving this morning.
But you don't shave there.
All right, look, it doesn't bother me.
But how did
And if we worry about every tiny little scratch... Honey, what are you looking so serious for? I can't even feel it. All right, if it makes you feel better, I'll put some antiseptic on it. Ella? Ella, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I'm just tired. I feel so worn out. Taxi! Taxi! Take me to the 500 block on Cheyenne. 554, 556, 558, 560. Outside entrance. Inside door, and it's locked. Locked.
Why, hello, Ella.
Sergeant Carter.
Oh, what are you doing in this neighborhood?
Oh, just shopping. There's some very fine shops.
Ella.
Yes, Sergeant.
Tell me, since Don's been home from the hospital, has he... Well, have you noticed anything unusual about him?
Unusual? In what way?
Oh, I don't know. He has complained of headaches.
Headaches?
He may have come back to duty just a little bit too soon. Although I must say it hasn't interfered with his performance of duty. He's a great cop. Well, see you around.
Ella, hey, where have you been? I've been home for about 2 hours.
Oh, I was out.
It's okay. I made supper. Chili. What do you think? Pull up a chair and enjoy a treat, huh?
Don, how do you feel?
Right now, I feel fantastic. I've never been in better shape in all my life.
I look at you and I don't know how to begin.
Begin what?
Don, the cleaner said you had blood on your sleeve. That was the other day. And the other day, there was a knifing. Some old tramp had been...
Wait a minute. What are you saying?
And yesterday, you went to the scene of another killing. You had a scratch, as if someone...
Ella, is this your idea of a joke?
Hear it all first. You went to this lady's apartment. Now, if she was all ready when you got there, how did you get in there? The door to the hallway is locked. You have to ring the bell. Donald, how did you get in there?
How did I get in there? What? How do you think I got in there? I rang the bell.
No.
Listen.
No.
What are you making it so complicated for? I rang the bell. She sounded the buzzer. She let me in.
She let you in?
Well, who else would have let me in? She lives all alone, doesn't she?
But Don. Oh, Don.
Look, I got this headache again.
Don, listen to me.
I have to lie down.
Something's terribly wrong.
When I get this headache, I can go crazy.
It really wasn't murder. You didn't know.
I knew. When I feel this way, I can kill.
Carter. Sergeant Carter. He was there again today for the same reason I was. He suspects.
Will you shut up?
You need help. Don, oh, darling, don't. Don't, please. Don't look at me that way. Don, don't look at me that way. No, it isn't even human. Look, keep away. Don, it's me. Don't. I wish him dead. I wish him dead.
Ella. Oh, Ella, everything hurts so much. I just want to sleep. Never wake up. I just want to sleep.
Don. Oh, Don.
3 times, and you can have the story any way you like. The supernatural powers of the little golden statue, or the sudden rallies and collapses that still defy the best thinking of medical science. Random accident or predestined fate. We always have something for everybody. As usual, I'll have something for you when I return shortly.
I'd like to describe a car to you. See what you think of it. First of all, it's small. Second, it's got a 6-cylinder engine, a pretty handy asset these days. Third, it's a Buick. Now, in spite of the fact that it's small, this car can seat 6 easily. It's got a 21-gallon fuel tank, which gives it great range. And it weighs several hundred pounds more than most imports, which in a small car is good. Now, what does it look like? Well, that's pretty tough to handle on radio. I'd hesitate to call it glamorous, and it sure isn't homely. I think handsome would be fair, and it offers some pretty attractive styling and trim options. The interior is definitely its strong suit. Now, if that sounds like a little more than your average small car, then I've described it properly. Because remember, this small car is a Buick. The car is called Apollo, Buick Apollo, and it's about as much small car as you'll find on the road today. See for yourself at your Buick Opel dealer.
I want that sinus medicine.
Headache tablets?
No, sinus medicine. Sinus tablets. Helps the headache and the pressure.
Oh, you mean sign-off.
Exactly.
Headache pain is one thing. A sinus headache is something else. Sometimes your whole face can seem to throb with pain. You want relief. Take Sign-Off tablets. Sineoff, the sinus medicine that gives you a full dose of pure aspirin plus a sinus drainer. Sign-Off, the sinus medicine that helps relieve sinus pain while you drain. And Sign-Off doesn't stop there. Have you tried Sign-Off Sinus Spray, the fastest known form of sinus congestion relief? It works in seconds. That's Sign-Off Sinus Spray. When sinus flares up, use Sign-Off tablets and spray, only as directed.
Sineoff.
Sign-Off.
Exactly.
Sign-Off, the sinus medicines in the bright red box.
I wish I could tell you what happened to the little statue, but I can't. Ella Greenway's house was robbed a few years ago, and the little statue was part of the loot. It may have been stolen by someone who knew its powers. On the other hand, it may be kicking around some antique or gift shop. Remember, if you see it, it's a beautiful lady with a snake twined about her waist. And if you should see it, would you buy it? Our cast included William Redfield, Suzanne Grossman, Sam Gray, and Dan Ocko. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal, new sugar-free diet 7-Up, and Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
You drive a truck? Thinking about getting a new one? Well, you've picked the right time. Your 12 Dallas County Chevy dealers have 2,000 trucks for you to choose from right now. Now, with that many trucks to look over, you're going to make the best deal you've ever made. Big savings on any size pickup, any color, with any options you want. Choose a Chevy pickup from the greatest total inventory ever and get the best deal ever. Right now at any one of your 12 Dallas County Chevy dealers.
You're listening to KRLD Dallas, 1080 on the dial.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. For most of us, is there any more alluring form of minor masochism than the good old-fashioned ghost story? The icy fingers running shivering shocks up and down the spine, playing that fascinating dichotomy of, this might have been me, but, oh, thank the Lord it wasn't. So this ghost story begins with Joel and Jane Trent, early 20s, married 8 months, starting out in life with a future unlimited, except the present unfortunate necessity of counting every penny to make life work and to live in some dignity and comfort. And then, the fabulous break, or what seemed a fabulous break, that marvelous ad in the classified section of the Sunday Chronicle.
Joe, I found us a home. Are you listening?
All ears.
Eminently desirable, 2 bedrooms and bath for the right couple. Fully furnished, sublet for at least 2 years. please, not before 10 a.m. Sunday. HSM Apollyon, 27 Southwest 62nd Street.
So?
So what?
That's right off Central Park. It'd cost a fortune.
I saved the best for the last. Rent, $200 a month. 1 month's security.
Oh, there's got to be something wrong with it.
Why?
It's too cheap.
Does that mean we can't look at it?
No, we'll be there on the dot, fighting the line. What have we got to lose?
What indeed? And don't be afraid of a crowd. Yours is the only paper this ad will appear in, because it's you I want. One advantage of being a rather special printer's devil.
Our mystery drama, The Real Printer's Devil, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Paul Hecht and Jada Rowland. Could there be a more mundane, run-of-the-mill beginning to a really haunting ghost story than two young people on the way early on a bright Saturday morning to answer an ad for a sublet furnished apartment? But such an apartment. From their point of view, a steal at the price, at the location, containing everything they ever wanted, a long-term lease, a promise of heaven. But from another point of view, oh, well, that, as we shall see, is the hell of it.
The rooms will be small.
So, how big are we?
It'll be crawling with cockroaches.
My best friend's uncle's cousin is an exterminator.
It did say 2 bedrooms, didn't it?
That's what it said.
The second one is probably just a walk-in closet.
So, I'll build a fresh air duct to it. A crib doesn't take all that much floor space.
Oh, hold it.
What's the matter? The baby didn't...
No, the baby didn't do anything. It's me. Oh, the way my tummy's revolving, it's lucky there aren't 3 of us here already instead of 2. I'm scared.
Of what?
Look, 62nd Street. This is the corner. Supposing it really smells. Supposing the price was a misprint. Supposing the John's out in the hall. Suppose someone got there first and took it.
No way, no way. It isn't even 10 a.m. yet.
Oh, never mind. Let's get going. What was the number? 15? 17?
27. There it is, on the other side of the street.
Oh, it's an attractive building.
Yeah. Hey, there's a nice little garden around the main door.
And it looks so well kept up. Oh, Joel, it just seems too good to be true.
Well, come on. Let's find his bell. Ah, here it is. HSM Apollyon. That's our fairy godfather.
Don't call him that.
I don't care how gay he is. The apartment's all I care about. Press the bell.
Okay. Be ready when he buzzes down.
Yeah.
Oh, why doesn't he answer?
Maybe he's in that John down the hall.
Oh, you...
Enter, my love.
Oh, I love the carpet. Bittersweet.
I hope nothing I said hurt his feelings.
Well, the elevator's waiting. Let's get it over with before I faint.
I have a few butterflies myself.
Got the floor number?
Yeah. And we are off.
Everything's so clean and efficient. Well taken care of. You sure it wasn't East 62nd?
No, look, here, 27 West.
I hope it's not too high up. What floor is it?
Oh, forget it, darling. That's for later. Well, here we are.
Aha! I thought I heard the lift. My Anglican background, or I should say English. Elevator, I meant, of course. Are you here to see the flat? Apartment, I mean, naturally.
Yeah, we are. I'm Joel Trent. This is my wife, Jane.
HSM Apollyon here, and won't you come in? You know, everyone always thinks I must be retired Navy or something. HMS, you know. His Majesty's ship, whatever. Only it isn't. It's HSM. Stands for something quite different, I assure you. And besides, I'm not one for water at all. Can't abide it. Well, this is the vestibule or the foyer or perhaps the hall, you'd call it. As you can see, it's very much like any other of its kind.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Apollyon. It's absolutely fabulous.
Oh, well, not exactly, but how nice of you to say so. one does do quite a bit of traveling, and some of the things you see, particularly those from the East, are quite, well, I won't say fabulous, unique, perhaps. Now, that Chris, for example, would you believe that it has both perfume and poison forged into the steel of its blade? And the sorcerer's cane, well, that's real hair, you know, at the handle. Now, which would you like to do first? A cup of tea and get acquainted and then do the flat, or the other way around?
Oh, if you don't mind, I'm just dying to see the apartment. I mean, the flat.
Then off we go. Oh, no. By the by, before we do start, only because once before I did have quite a disappointment after showing a rather peculiar individual the apartment some 19 years ago. This man went all the way through the apartment. He was some sort of a minister, as I remember. And after deciding to take it, he changed his mind when he learned the number of the flat. You did notice it, didn't you?
Joel knows it. I don't. What is it, Joel?
It's apartment D.
On the 13th floor.
Oh. Well, that's just a silly superstition, isn't it?
Isn't it? Well, now, shall we have a look about? Do you take sugar with your tea, Mrs. Trent?
1 month, please. But really...
Mr. Trent, or would you prefer something stronger?
No, tea's just great. 2. Lumps, I mean.
How about milk, Mrs. Trent?
No, thanks. Neither of us. But really, mister, Polly, and this is awfully kind of you, but we must be holding you up. I'm sure there'll be loads of other people in answer to your ad.
Well, they're not here yet, so we can enjoy our tea, eh? Besides, my dear, I have a sneaking suspicion that... your cup, Mr. Trent.
Thank you.
That not so many people are going to turn up in answer to the ad.
For a dream apartment like this, I can't believe that.
I was surprised there wasn't a line a mile long.
Well, how nice both of you are. You know, I've really taken quite a fancy to you.
That's very sweet of you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
It's so difficult today to find young people with all the good old-fashioned virtues. What am I saying? It's been very difficult for generations. So for my purpose, you're quite ideal.
I don't quite understand.
Oh, I thought I'd made myself quite clear. You're just the people I want in my apartment. That is, of course, if you're interested. And if there's anything I can do to make it more attractive to you.
Attractive? Well, the whole place is just a dream. It's the sort of place Joel and I made up dreams about living in after saving everything we could make for the next 10 or 20 years. And now to think that at a price we can afford, we can start living that way right now.
Oh, dear me, now, I didn't mean to upset her.
She's only crying because she's so happy. You see, you got to excuse her. It says in the book that women in her condition sort of... Uh-oh.
Oh, Joel.
Oh, it just slipped out, Jane.
Women in...
We just thought we'd have trouble finding something we could afford, and we wanted to have plenty of time. And Aunt Gertrude's place in Mount Vernon just doesn't have room for all of us now, let alone...
Why, you're going to have a baby. Well, now, isn't that nice? My congratulations. It's a sort of a bonus in a way.
You mean you don't mind babies?
Mind? I love them, just adore them. You can't know how much extra pleasure they afford.
Oh, gee, that's great. What did you mean, a sort of bonus?
Oh, that. Why, to think of being able to use the crib and the baby bath and all those things I once bought for a tenant and his wife and baby who were unfortunately lost in a plane crash on the very day they were to move in.
How awful.
Yes, snatched away from me at the last moment. Oh, I don't mean that the way it sounds. You see, I'd grown almost as fond of them as I have of you. Now, we must get down to business. I'll have the bed taken out of the small bedroom and set up the crib for you. And when could you move in?
Why, the sooner the better.
At your convenience, of course.
Oh, if I told you my convenience, my dears, I'm sure I would shock you.
Try me.
Well, today. This minute, this afternoon. If at all possible, not later than 6 o'clock.
you shocked me.
I know the ad said immediate occupancy, but I wasn't quite expecting
Let
it
me
this soon.
explain. I had a tenant, you see, a most interesting man, a sort of a Billy Sunday, you might say. Fascinating challenge.
Challenge?
Oh, well, I shouldn't admit it, but I feel I know you both so well, even after the short acquaintance. Do you know, I've traveled a great deal, and I've never been able to resist the inordinately evil things that men have dreamed up as the centuries went rolling by. The grimoires, the devices of the Inquisition, our own New Englanders. Well, I bought all sorts of quite horrible things. Pictures, instruments, statues, charms, and so forth. I keep them all hidden away in that big closet at the end of the hall. Oh, that's the only thing that's off limits, by the way. I keep it locked.
Oh, that would be perfectly all right. There's plenty of other closet space.
And you wouldn't be interested in this awful stuff anyway. As I said, this man was a minister, so I thought I'd really give him a start. So, I replaced everything and hung up all this perfectly awful stuff. Oh, quite bone-chilling and terribly evil.
But why?
Well, I wanted to see his reaction, so I thought I'd scare him off.
And naturally, you did.
Good gracious, no, he loved it. Couldn't wait to move in. But someone greater than us solved the problem. Unfortunately, he was taken from us with a heart attack.
Oh, the poor man.
Yes, actually, he never realized how fortunate he was. But I didn't mean to depress you. Let's get back to all the fun and practical things. Now, I have some urgent business in the Near East, and I've booked an overnight plane for tonight. If I could possibly make that.
Joel, there's no reason why not, is there? You have the money.
Yeah.
And we'd have the time to run up to Mount Vernon and back and get enough clothes to settle in. Then we could bring the rest later.
Well, I guess it might be arranged. By the way, what business are you in, Mr. Apollyon?
Oh, that's a little difficult to explain. Rather like the import and export business.
Oh, you deal in objet d'art.
In a sense, yes, but perhaps a better word would be subjects. But to get back to our business, if you have the rent and the security with you, we'll exchange them for the keys, sign the leases, give you a thorough briefing on the entire apartment, and then I can be off just as soon as you return.
Well, Mr.
Joel... Oh, forgive me, but at my age, I think I can take the liberty to use your first name. I'm a rich old man with no children, and money is no object to me. Now, if the rent is too high...
$200 a month for a two-bedroom apartment furnished like a palace? Why, it's...
Hush, 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 hush. Now, it's all I want from the right people. Besides, there is one little catch to the whole thing. Oh, dear, I hope it won't prove too much of a problem.
Oh, catch?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Are you by any chance afraid of cats, Jane?
Cats? No, I love them. So does Joel. In fact, we've been thinking of getting one.
Oh, well, now that is a relief. You have one. And such a cat. Pure Abyssinian and the delight of my life. He's the only reason I must always find just the right tenant.
Can we meet him?
He might not like it.
Oh, have no fear about that. Smokey, that's his name. Smokey, he loves everyone.
Well, where is he? I'm dying to see him.
At the moment, he's at Le Chasseron, being attended with loving care by Pierre and Christophe. So he will look his very best for his new conquest.
Conquest?
You, my dear. Oh, I promise you he will win your heart and soul when you meet him on your return.
Well, what do you think?
Oh, darling, it's marvelous. Just what we need.
Yeah, and just what we can afford.
You won't have to go tiptoeing around Aunt Gertrude's every night.
We both won't have to take a subway and a bus for 45 minutes to get to work every day. We could even walk. Jane, darling, the whole wide world's our oyster. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, but something is bothering you.
Oh, I know it's silly. It's just that 13.
Oh.
Why couldn't it have been 12 or 14 or any other number?
Now, you're not going to let something silly like that bother you.
You know how superstitious I am. I just have such a funny feeling.
Maybe it's the number made it so cheap. Maybe we ought to be grateful.
I sure hope we're going to be. I guess we're in it now.
Jane, you and me just made the damnedest deal in the world.
If only Joel could know how prophetic those words are. If only all of us were a little less gullible, the devil might have a long, hard task that could even discourage him. And if only he'd just take the people who are going his way. Why is he driven to tempt and maneuver and triumph by winning the others by artifice and indirection? Is it because he was once an angel, and when Lucifer fell, in his own shame, he must drag the rest of the world into the pit with him? I'll return in a moment with Act 2. Rocking in her chair, the bright hook flashing as she crocheted away at another rug, Aunt Gertrude found it hard to share completely in Joel and Jane's bubbling enthusiasm. 2 reasons. One, she knew how large a gaping hole they would leave in her lonely life. And 2, Aunt Gertrude was a pragmatist.
You say only $200 a month for that apartment.
Where shall I put my baseball spikes?
Oh, Lord, do we have to take those? What did you say, Aunt Gertrude?
Well, I just can't get over the price. It's a giveaway.
I know. But we do have to take care of the cat.
Oh, my, such a chore. Open a can twice a day.
Don't forget the litter pan.
Now, don't change the subject. Tell me, what's wrong with the apartment, I wonder? There's something fishy.
Auntie, you had Bob Anderson go over the lease with a fine-tooth comb.
And he's a real estate lawyer.
Oh, I'm quite satisfied with all the legal aspects. It's just, I don't know, something else gives me a funny twinge in the left shoulder blade. Used to be a kind of storm warning. Now I guess it's just arthritis.
Don't worry about us, Auntie. And please don't have any doubts.
Why? Have you been having some...
For the love of Mike, would you 2 Cassandras, would you lay off? Here we have the break of a century.
Oh, you're quite right, Joel. I guess I'm getting so old that the milk of human kindness is beginning to sour. Now, I feel just like both of you. It's just too good to be true. And to be practical, it does solve all our problems. There really isn't room for the 3 of us in this tiny apartment of mine, and when the baby comes...
Like the clowns climbing into the midget car.
I'm going to miss not being part of bringing up that baby, though.
Oh, you'll have plenty of chance. I'm going to leave that bed in Baby's room as well as the crib. Besides, there's a huge couch in the living room.
There's the cab. Oh, brother, are we all packed?
Yes. Well, I guess this is it.
I'll take the heavy suitcase out first.
Oh, it's going to seem strange with only 1 instead of 3.
At least we're not changing numbers. Well, the cat makes 3. He's pretty special. He's an Abyssinian.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, they're gorgeous. Looks like a Siamese with blue eyes and a lovely gray coat, like the gray in chinchilla, only shorter. His name is Smokey.
Come on, Janie. Rustle the bustle. Our chariot's waiting.
Oh, wait a minute. I need the phone number.
Jane, take a couple of the shopping bags out, will you, honey, while I write it down for Andy?
Sure. Only how did you get the number? I forgot all about it.
I took it off the bedroom phone.
Let me see. 3131313. Oh, my, that's a terrible number. Especially after apartment 13D.
Janie doesn't know it yet. I want to break it to her slowly. You superstitious people.
Oh, I got a twinge in my shoulder blade now like I was bit by a horse. Who was bit by a horse?
No one, dear. Come on. Grab the rest of this gear before our impatient hacky runs out on us. Come on, be right out.
Oh, Jane, I'm going to miss you.
Oh, me too. So will Joel. What the heck? It's not the last time we'll be seeing each other. Don't forget we're having dinner Thursday night at the New Dig.
Oh, that reminds me. Just in case I forget the address, can I have your copy of the newspaper?
Yeah, no, I left it downtown.
Oh.
Don't worry, I picked you up a fresh copy. The ad is on page 37, column 5, first one in furnished apartments. Now, look, this really is goodbye. Let's go.
I'll worry about you. Promise me to call as
Yeah.
soon as you're settled.
Okay.
Oh, it might be almost midnight. Don't
Come
mind.
on. Now, that's the last call. It sounds like the trump of doom.
Oh, goodbye,
Goodbye,
darling.
Annika. We'll call you. Don't worry
All
about
right, dear. Oh, I better get that address written down before I forget. Now, let's see. On page 37. Column 5. Oh, furnished apartments. Here we are. Oh, that's very strange. The ad isn't in this paper. There's no ad at all.
Well, he didn't answer downstairs, so we had to let ourselves into the building. Maybe he's off getting old Smoky.
Then I guess we should just use our keys and go right in.
Well, that's what we paid the rent for. You want the honor?
Oh, no, I'm terrified to let go of this bag with the eggs in it. You open the lock.
Okay, here goes. Well, I guess we need the bottom one, too. There we are.
Mr. Apollyon? You try, you're louder.
Mr. Apollyon?
Oh, look. It must be Smokey.
Hey, Smoky boy.
Oh, isn't he cute? Rubbing himself against your leg, just as if he'd known you all your life.
Well, where's Apollyon? Hey, you don't suppose that he's...
Look at Smokey. He's backing off as if he was inviting you to come in.
Look, leave the rest of the gear here. You dump that stuff in the kitchen while I look through the rest of the house.
Joel?
Yeah, Jane, what is it?
There's a note on the refrigerator door explaining everything. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh, what happened?
Darling, you know the oil shortage. They canceled the plane he was to leave on because of too few reservations, but offered him a seat on an earlier plane. Oh. Well, that's a relief.
Yeah.
What are you getting all head up about?
I don't know, Jane. I just had a kind of nutty feeling. I don't know what to call it. A death, I guess. I honestly thought I was going to find that nice old man lying somewhere with a heart attack or something. Gee, I feel silly enough as it is. Now Smokey's laughing at me.
Not him. It's explained on a very detailed note on the fridge. It's Smokey's din-din time.
Oh.
He's hungry. Look what he gets.
Ugh, looks like raw flesh.
Well, whatever it is, you can see he loves it.
That cat is losing its attraction for me.
Oh, don't be a goon. Look how crazy you are for steak tartare.
Well, that's different. You give him some mouthwash after he's through.
Where are you going?
I'm going to bring the rest of our stuff in.
Great, just dump it in the bedroom. I'll sort it out later.
That was a wonderful dinner.
Oh, ought to be. Took long enough. What time is it?
Gee, I don't believe it. It's just midnight.
Oh, it's been a long, glorious, wonderful, relaxing...
What's that?
I don't know. Joel, that was a shot.
Oh, don't be silly. She walked out on him and shut the door.
She?
Or he, someone. Didn't old HSM give us a rundown on our neighbors?
Let's see. According to the bulletin he left on the fridge door, upstairs, no problem. A very ancient hermit who winters in Florida and seems to estivate in summer? What's that mean?
Advantages of a classical education. If you sleep through the winter, you hibernate. If you sleep through the summer, you estivate, from the Latin estivare.
And I thought the Greeks always had a word for it.
I'm pulling your leg. I haven't the faintest idea what it is. What's the poop on our other cliff dwellers?
Let's see. A, across the hall is a widow who just left on a round-the-world cruise. B, next door is a couple of swingers who never seem to be home at the same time. And next door are two young kids he thinks we'll like, who go to the movies and theater a lot.
Okay, I'll blame the noise we heard on the swingers. Let's hope that's their last contribution for tonight.
Well, we're forgetting the dishes tonight.
Oh, good. We're going to bed and pull the covers over our heads.
It mightn't be a bad idea.
Okay, let's go.
Well, what are we standing here for?
You're not just standing. I have my arms around you, and I'm loving you, and I'm wondering if maybe I was just the most trusting, gullible dum-dum in the world, and maybe you should fetch me a smart karate chop to the left temple.
What are you talking about, my darling idiot?
I'm just wishing your darling idiot hadn't taken all our dough and paid it out in cash for security and the first month's rent. How's the bed?
Like floating on air.
Then look a little happier.
I'm just remembering I forgot to call Aunt Gertrude.
Well, you can't call her now. It's after 1 o'clock. Hey, where are my pajamas?
In the old beat-up case on top. Toilet stuff, too. Oh, but before you do that, could you do me a favor?
Sure.
I forgot my calcium pill. It's with all the vitamins in the kitchen.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, Lord. Please don't let me have made a terrible mistake. I loved this apartment so at first, but now... Joel? Who's that? No. Please. Oh, Smokey. Oh, what a start you gave me jumping on a bed like that. Oh, you mad at me? Why are you looking at me like that? Did I forget to say goodnight? What is it? You want me to come somewhere? Oh, maybe I should have given you some milk. All right, we'll take care of it. No, the kitchen's that way. Not... Where is it you want to go? Joel, come here.
I'll be right there. What is it, honey?
It's Smokey. Look at him. He came and got me and led me here. And he seems desperate to get into this closet.
And that's the one Apollyon has all his little ghoulish treasures tucked away in. We couldn't open it anyway. It's locked.
Try it, just in case. Oh, there may be something of Smokey's that got locked in there by accident.
Okay, here goes.
Oh. Oh, how terrible. How terrible. And vicious. And unspeakable. And vile. Oh, no wonder that mess. Oh, Joel, close it up. Oh, just shut away that horror. Oh, for God's sake, take me to bed and help me forget I ever saw it.
Okay, honey. What about Smokey?
Whatever it was, he found it and ran. Close that door up. Shut it. I wish I could think I'll ever be able to shut it out of my mind. No wonder I thought this was all too good to be true.
Too good to be true? Better to interpolate and make it read, too true to be good. Poor Jane and Joel. But how were such simple, ordinary people to know the language of black magic? Or that HSM Apollyon is only a synonym for the more familiar and deadly spirit we usually call the devil? I'll be back shortly with Act 3. A short and classic definition of tragedy is the downfall of a noble person whose character is flawed by a single weakness which causes him to break a moral law, which leads to his destruction. But how much more tragic is the destruction of the innocent, particularly when they happen to cross the path of someone who makes their disaster equally inevitable. Which brings us back to Joel and Jane Trent.
Jane?
Yes, darling.
You stopped shaking. You think you can sleep now?
I'm sorry I was so childish before. I think it's because I'm carrying one.
No, you aren't childish. I'm just the same. I got the willies, too. I guess it's just because it's all so strange to us.
I think so, too.
Let's get a good night's sleep, like everyone else has had. Good Lord, what was that?
I don't know. It's from upstairs.
It must be the old man. What's happened to him?
I don't know. Just pay it no attention.
Pay it no attention? No one could sleep with that noise going on. I'm going to go up and tell him to stop.
Oh, no, please. Don't do that. Please don't go up there.
Oh, why not? Are you going to be ill?
No, it's that up there.
You mean our noisy neighbor?
I'm scared, Joe.
Yeah.
I've had about all I can take, and that noise is really driving me up the wall.
Yeah, me too. I know what I'll do. I'll call the superintendent. Got his number on the sheet?
No. Wouldn't you know it's the one thing he left off? It's just his apartment number, 1A.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'll take a run down in the elevator and get him to come back up and see what's going on up there. Will you be all right alone?
Yes. No. Oh, Joel, I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm not usually like this. I don't know what's got into me.
I do.
What?
My son and heir.
Oh, you male chauvinist. Just because she's carrying a baby doesn't mean a woman has to act like one.
I'm sorry. I know, honey. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll just take the elevator up there, and then I'll find out what's going on myself.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't know what you'll be getting into. Go get the super. His name is Bill Joseph. 1A.
All right. Well, to stop that somehow. Oh, well, here's your protector standing guard by the door. Go on in, Smokey. Keep Mrs. Trent company. I'll be right back.
That ghastly racket up there doesn't turn you a hair, Smokey. Then you're a male cat, so I suppose that makes us totally different breeds. Joel?
Yeah, Jane, it's just me. Would you believe it? The elevator's out of order. I rang and rang. It just stays in the first floor. That racket's still going on.
Yep. Only one it doesn't bother is old Smokey here. Joel, are there fire stairs?
Yeah, but I'm not going down any 13 flights just to find a locked door. All the doors, even ours, have a safety lock on them.
What are we going to do?
Well, first off, I'm going upstairs to tell Barnacle Bill, or whatever his name is.
It's Nemo.
Oh, like Captain Nemo in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to tell Nemo to up anchor and get out of range.
Joel, don't get into any fight.
With a guy old enough to be my great-grandfather?
Joel?
Yeah, it's okay. It's me, Jane. Half a sec.
Joel?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Well, what did he say when you got him to open the door? What was he doing?
I don't know. He didn't open the door.
Why?
Look, I don't know how to tell you this, Jane.
Well, just tell me anyway, but tell me, what is it?
Well, I took some newspaper with me to wedge the door so I wouldn't get trapped. I fixed ours. Then when I got to the top of the stairs, it was a different kind of door.
What do you mean, different?
Well, it was, one of those heavy steel fire doors with a big heavy strap bars you slide home.
So why would 14 have a different kind of door from ours?
Because... Well, look, Jane, darling, maybe I just try to skip the...
Well, you better not, or I don't know what might happen to...
Well, all right, take it easy. Just hang on, because I'm going to have to give you a real rocker.
Let me have it.
It's a different kind of door, because there isn't any 14th floor at all, or 15th, or 20. All that's over us is the roof.
What's that you've been giving me?
Oh, Brandy, I had a good jolt myself.
The sound is still there.
That's right.
What causes it? Something loose up there on the roof?
No, I searched it thoroughly. It's not coming from the roof.
Where? The neighbors?
Check that out. Whatever other lies Mr. Apollyon told us, there isn't anyone in any of the apartments on this floor. I've done everything but break down the doors to make sure.
Then what are we going to do? I can't take this all night, Joel.
Nobody could. I am going to call the police. I don't know what we've gotten ourselves into, but we are now getting out.
Oh, I'm afraid it's a little too late for that, Mr. Trent.
Apollyon, where the devil are you?
Sitting right in front of you. In his other form.
Smokey?
I should have known from the beginning, from his eyes. Shine a strong light in a cat's eyes, and what happens?
The pupil closes up.
Into a long, narrow slit. But in a human being?
It closes into a tight, round, dark circle.
Like Mr. Smokey. Look as the lamp shines in his eyes.
Yes, very observant, Jane. I should have been more careful. But since the illusion serves no function anymore, I might as well resume my Father Christmas guise. Normally, I wouldn't have had to return to it except for you.
Why not?
Oh, people act in so many strange degrees. Some just go to sleep no matter how strange the noise is. Some trap themselves between floors. Some very hysterical ones try to leap from roof to roof. Some break through the neighbors' doors and meet quite unexpected deaths, since there's nothing but space beyond them. And some sit awake all night, not realizing that morning will never come again. And some are... a little troublesome.
But none escape?
Well, it wouldn't be very good for my reputation, would it?
Who are you?
Oh, Jane, you tease me about my classical education. Little good it served me. Apollyon, of course. A synonym for the devil. And the HSM? His satanic majesty, I presume?
We all have our little conceits.
Well, this time, maybe we can take that conceit down a peg or two.
Well, not with the phone. It's not connected. As a matter of fact, it doesn't really exist.
Huh?
Listen.
Now what?
Well, if you will forgive the devil quoting scripture, or to be more exact, the book of common prayer, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be.
You'd kill us?
Oh, my dear, as attractive as they are, I have no interest in your corporeal presences. The soul is all I'm after.
Well, you won't get ours without a fight.
Oh!
There was no pain, my dear.
You killed him. But you won't get me.
Jane, it's too late. The contract is made.
The elevator. The elevator.
No, don't step in there. The car is... Now, why didn't she wait for me to tell her the car was still on the first floor? Poor, crushed little sparrow. But what matter? The bodies live and die in the blink of time's eyelid. The soul is what lives forever. No time to waste philosophizing. Tomorrow is another equally busy day. A quick general cleanup, and then the ad must be sneaked into that one right paper so the Smithers will get it. I wonder what the New York Chronicle would have to say if they knew that they had a real printer's devil. Yeah?
Oh, look, my name is Gertrude Conway, and my niece and her husband are renting Mr. Apollyon's apartment. Now, I've been trying to call them ever since last night, and I have now not only been informed by the telephone company that there is no such number, but that there could be no such number. Also, Jane, my niece, she promised to call me if I didn't call her. Yeah. Even if she thought last night was too late, she would have called this morning. Yeah. You see, she's going to have a baby.
Oh, well, then maybe she went to a hospital.
In the middle of her second trimester.
Huh?
The baby is less than 5 months old.
Oh. Still,
it doesn't matter anyway. Now, I've checked with all the hospitals, and she has not been admitted. Now, I'm worried something may have happened. I want you, please, to take me up to the apartment with the keys.
Oh, what apartment?
Mr. H.S.M. Apollyon, who sublet it to them.
Lady, we ain't got no Mr. Apollyon on it, or whatever his name is in this building.
Oh, certainly you have. This is 27 Southwest 62nd Street, isn't it?
Sure, that's right.
Well, very well. It's apartment 13D.
13D?
That's right.
Well, that solves the whole problem.
Oh, good.
There ain't no apartment 13D in this building.
What?
Point of fact, lady, there ain't no 13th floor. You know, like most New York buildings. We go from 12 to 14 and then right up to 30.
Are you sure?
Look, I've been running this building for 22 years.
Oh, my God. I have this terrible feeling there's something awfully wrong. Nothing unusual happened around this building last night or in the neighborhood.
No. Quiet as a church, ma'am. Not even a mugging. And believe me, I get all the word when Officer Strauss drops in for his morning coffee.
But two healthy young people can't just disappear into thin air. What was the floor, George?
13.
Good thing we ain't either of us superstitious, huh?
Yeah, not at this rent. Look out for the catch, huh?
Don't worry. You just trust me.
I thought I heard the lift. My Anglican background, I should really say English, actually. Elevator, I meant, of course. Are you here to see the flat? Apartment, I mean?
Yeah. I'm George Smithers, and this is my wife, Violet.
H.S.M. Apollyon here. Everyone always thinks I'm Navy, but I'm not. It isn't H.M.S., you see. H.S.M. stands for something quite different.
Oh, yeah.
Well, do come along in. I'm sure you're dying to see the apartment, and I can promise you, I won't disappoint you.
2 more sacrificial lambs to the slaughter. Their doom, of course, is sealed. But, as Mr. Joseph says, so many people disappear in a big city every day. Not quite in this way, of course. But I suppose you can never be too careful. The sad trouble is that, as Elizabeth Barrett Browning said, the devil is most devilish when respectable. I'll be back shortly. Caveat emptor, the Latin phrase which says, let the buyer beware. This is true of all advertisements, of course. And the tighter the economy gets, the more the buyer should beware. But we wouldn't want to suggest you need fear the kind of ad we have featured tonight. In the beginning, we promised you a spine-tingling ghost story, which featured the 2 phrases, too good to be true and too true to be good. As a good night, we just like to suggest it was all in fun. And even if it wasn't true, we hope you found it good. Our cast included Jada Rowland, Paul Hecht, Ian Martin, and Bryna Rayburn. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Now, a preview of our next tale.
We've been married for 20 years, happily married. You can't throw years away like old shoes. Destroy everything we've built together. Everything we've come to mean to each other.
I'm powerless to do anything else.
Well, I am not.
What do you mean?
I mean that you're suffering from some sort of aberration. You're sick, Norman. Mentally sick. And I am not letting you do anything as stupid, as disastrous as marrying that girl. I will not divorce you, Norman.
Agnes.
No, Norman. In a few months, it'll all be over. This sudden romance of yours will be stone cold.
No. In a few months, I will be stone cold.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the world of the uncanny, the eerie, the unearthly. Strange things happen. They have happened to me and will again. They've happened to you and will again. They happened to Norman Meredith, but they will never, never happen to him again. Because, well, listen. Who are you? How can you ask, Norman? Don't you know me? How would I know you? We've never met. Oh, yes, we have. Norman, dearest heart, I am the woman of your dreams. Your dream woman. Well, why do you hold that knife? That long, sharp carving knife. To kill you, Norman. To kill you. Our mystery drama, The Dream Woman, is based on the classic by Wilkie Collins. and was especially adapted for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Kevin McCarthy. It is sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. I'll be back shortly with Act One. What is a dream? From where does it come? And why? Wiser men than I say that dreams rise like mist out of various levels of the subconscious and the unconscious. But what is the subconscious? What is the unconscious? No one really knows. Oh, there are theories, yes. But no one can say with certainty why we dream. Why, for instance, Norman Meredith dreamed that certain dream. You say you're the woman of my dreams, my dream woman. If that's so, why would you want to kill me with that knife?
So you can stay in my world always. Be mine always.
No, I don't understand.
Only when you were dead, physically dead, can your spirit live, really live.
And you come from the spirit world?
A spirit world. One of countless spirit worlds. Oh, join me in it now, dearest Norman. Dearest heart. Join me now.
No!
Yes! No! No! Yes! Norman! Yes! I must kill you, Norman. I'll kill you, Norman.
Oh, Stanley, please don't.
Die, Norman. Die, Norman. Die, Norman. Norman, wake up, Norman. Oh. Norman, darling, you've been having a dream, a nightmare.
No. Agnes, it's you.
Of course, dear. Oh. Now relax.
Oh, that woman. Horrible. Murderous woman with a knife.
Dream, sweetheart. Nothing but a terrible dream.
No.
Now, Norman.
I saw her so clearly. Her and a knife. A long carving knife. Razor sharp. Gleaming, and she struck at me with it. Struck. And struck. And struck.
Oh, Norman.
I thought of clearly, vividly. She was tall. Long blonde hair that fell below her shoulders. A voluptuous figure, and the eyes, light blue, hazel eyes flecked with green. Oh, heaven help me, I'll never be able to get her out of my mind. Oh, she and that knife.
Well, now, Norman, I can tell you this. As a psychiatrist, I have a number of patients who are troubled with nightmares, often with the same recurring nightmare, but they never come true, Norman. And neither will yours.
No. What about that feeling? How do you explain that feeling that the woman last night, in that dream last night, seems as real to me today as she did then? That's why, even though I know how terribly busy you are, I had to see you today. She stays there. She won't leave my head.
Never too busy to fit an old friend into my schedule, but then... Oh, excuse me. Yes, nurse? Tell Miss Lawrence I won't be more than another 5 minutes. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. I was about to say, I'm all but positive you won't have this dream again, Norman. Frankly, I think you've been driving yourself too hard.
All right, now what's the meaning of this, Dr. Gerstein?
Miss Lawrence.
You have kept me waiting more than 20 minutes.
I'm sorry, Miss
You're
Lawrence.
sorry. I've got a hairdresser appointment at 3, and you're sorry? Look, Buster, you may be the great psychiatrist, Dr. Arnold Gerstein, but I am Sandy Lawrence, and nobody pushes me around, okay?
Nobody's pushing you around, Miss Lawrence.
You don't call making me wait 20 minutes pushing me around?
No. Not when an emergency comes up.
See the emergency?
Miss Lawrence, if you'll just be patient another minute or so.
All right, another minute, but no more, you understand? And I mean it. What's the matter with him? Why is he staring at me like that? Hey, what's with you, Buster? You give me the will.
1 minute longer, Miss Lawrence. I won't be more than another minute. What is with you, Norman? You were staring at Miss Lawrence as if she had shocked you.
Who is she, Arnold?
Her name is Sandra Lawrence.
What does she do?
Well, she claims to be an actress, but I don't think that's quite the profession she's in. Why were you staring at her like that?
Didn't you notice?
Notice what?
Tall, sexy, long blonde hair, hazel eyes flecked with green.
Oh, yes. She resembles the woman you saw in your dream.
No, not resembles, Arnold. She is the woman in my dream.
Yeah?
My name is Norman Meredith, Miss Lawrence.
Yes?
Oh, well, I was wondering if I might talk with you for a few minutes.
Well, about what? You selling something?
No. I'm not a salesman, nothing like that. Could I come in?
Well, I don't know. Somebody give you my name? A client of mine?
No, I'm a friend of Dr. Gersten's. I saw you in his office this afternoon.
Oh, hey, you're the character that kept staring at me.
I apologize for that. It was very rude of me.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, lots of guys stare at me.
Could I?
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
I followed you after you left Arnold's, Dr. Gersten's office.
You followed me?
Yes.
Oh, you got it bad. Unless you got some other reason for playing bloodhound. All right. How about a drink first, huh?
First?
Oh, well. If you got it that bad.
No. I don't think you understand. I want to talk to you.
Talk to me. Well, if that's the way you get your kicks.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Lawrence. Tell me all about yourself.
You're real flaky. You just want to talk?
I want to know all about you. All about you. Who you are, where you come from, what you do for a living.
Oh, come on. You must be kidding. What I do for a living? Norman, you put me away. You really do.
Dr. Gersten said you're an actress?
Yeah. Yeah, you could put it that way. I put on a real good act.
If you mean what I think you mean...
Well, what else would I mean? I mean, you can't be as square as you sound. Or can you? Look, will you stop staring at me like that? I really don't like being stared at.
I'm sorry. I can't help myself. You fascinate me. Miss Lawrence.
Sandy, that's for Sandra.
Sandra? I dreamed of you last night.
Uh-huh. Well, lots of guys do.
Men who've never met you.
Well, okay, so you dreamed of me last night. I mean, what do you want, an Academy Award?
No. I want to get to know you better.
Come on, Norman, what's the angle, huh?
No angle. I told you. You fascinate me.
Look, Norman, you level with me. You level with me right now, or just blow, okay?
I am leveling with you. When I say you fascinate me, I mean, well, there was the dream to begin with, and then meeting you, a dream woman in the flesh in Gersten's office. There's something so strange about it. About it and you.
Oh, no, I'm strange.
No, it's more than that. It's you. I'm drawn to you. Waiting for you outside the medical center. I kept telling myself I was crazy and that I ought to just put you out of my mind, go about my business, but I couldn't do it. All the time that I was following you, waiting for you, I didn't want to. But I had to. You see, I was incapable of doing anything else. It must be like being an alcoholic or a drug addict. It's a compulsion. I have to be with you.
Well, whatever you got, you sure got it bad. Now, Normie, dearest heart, my time is valuable. It's $50 an hour.
Dearest heart. Dearest heart. You called me that in the dream, dearest heart.
Oh, yeah? Oh, how about that? How about the $50?
Well, sure.
Okay, in advance.
Oh, sure. Anything you say? Sandy? Yeah.
Put it on the table, Normie. Attaboy. Okay. What'll we talk about?
I don't know. Anything. Anything, as I said. I want to know all about you. Tell me about yourself.
Okay, but how's about I slip into something more comfortable first?
All right.
You fix yourself a drink. The bar's over there.
Thanks. You got any scotch?
Yeah, try the shelf under the bar.
Okay. Oh. Good Lord.
What's the matter?
It's knife. It's carving knife. Where did you get it?
How do I know? I had it for years. Oh, you fascinated by knives, too?
No, not knife. A knife. This one.
Oh, I said it before, and I'll say it again, Normie. You put me away. Divorce. You want a divorce, Norman?
Yes, Agnes, I do.
To marry this tramp?
Yes.
I can't really believe you're saying this. I can't understand you're being fascinated by a woman who resembles the woman you saw in your dream.
She is the woman in my dream. I'm in love with her, Agnes.
In love? With the kind of woman you tell me she is? Norman, in love?
Hopelessly, helplessly, compulsively. I'm gripped by something out of my control. I've tried to fight it, to free myself of it, and I can't. Agnes, I can't.
But my darling, you've got to. I love you. Yes, and you love me. I know you do.
Yes.
We've been married for 20 years,
yes.
happily married. You can't throw years away like old shoes. Destroy everything we've built together. Everything we've come to mean to each other.
I'm powerless to do anything else.
Well, I am not.
What do you mean?
I mean that you're suffering from some sort of aberration. You're sick, Norman. Mentally sick. And I am not letting you do anything as stupid, as disastrous as marrying that girl. I will not divorce you, Norman.
Agnes.
No, Norman. In a few months, it'll all be over. This sudden romance of yours will be stone cold.
Oh, no. In a few months, I will be stone cold. They're told dreams of precognition. Dreams which foretell events that will happen in the future. There are, in fact, many such cases on record. Explain them? I can't. The truth is, no one can. Not even Norman Meredith. I'll be back shortly with Act 2. And come up with anything but a satisfactory answer. We might ask now, what is a compulsion? And find the answer equally unsatisfactory. A compulsion is, of course, the doing of something in spite of yourself. The doing of it against all the dictates of intelligence, reason, sanity. And that is precisely what Norman Meredith, well-to-do stockbroker, finds himself doing in the suite of a palatial hotel in Rome, Italy, close on to 4 o'clock of a summer morning. What am I doing here? 4 o'clock in the morning in a Roman hotel. Walking up and down, pacing the floor and talking to myself. Talking to myself like some kind of nut. Some kind... Ah, the prodigal returns.
Oh, still awake, Norman?
That's right. I haven't been to sleep. Where have you been, Sandy? And that package. What's that package?
Oh, a little item I picked up in the flea market around 2.
a.m.?
Flea markets aren't open at 2 in the morning.
Well, they are if you know the right people.
Huh? And what creeping things have you been running all over Rome with this time? Answer me, Sandy.
Oh, Normie, flake off. I don't have to answer you about it.
Oh, yes, you do. No, you don't. I have no hold on you. We're not married.
You still have no hold on me, married or not.
True enough, I guess. True enough.
So anytime you want out, Normie, you just say so. Anytime you've had enough of me.
Oh, I'll never have enough of you, and you know it, Mule. You know it. How do you know it, Sandy?
Normie, come on. We're not going to hash that all over again, are we? Not at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm beat. Look, I'm going to go to bed. You?
No. I'm not sleeping.
When are you ever? You know something, Normie? I don't think you sleep more than an hour or two in 24. What are you, an insomniac or something? Are you afraid of dreams?
The dream?
Yeah, the one you had about me.
No. Oh, I'm not afraid. Why should I be?
I don't know, except you never told me what it was. And you're scared to death.
Oh, of what, for Pete's sake?
Me.
You? Would I be here in Rome with you if I was scared of you? Would I have taken you all over Europe these past few weeks if I was scared of you?
Oh, not me. Not scared of me in the flesh, me in the dream. Come on, Normie, what happened in the dream? What'd I do?
Go to bed, Sandy.
Okay. But that must have been some dream. Oh, hey! Let me show you what I picked up in the flea market.
I'm not interested in flea market junk.
This isn't junk. It's got some kind of royal crest on the handle, and Milo said, he's the one of the guys I was with, he knows steel, and he said the steel in this knife was the best Toledo money could buy. Hey, Norman, what's the matter? You're white as a corpse.
Why? Why did you buy that knife?
I saw it. I liked it.
Why? Why did you like it?
What's wrong with me wanting a carving knife?
Everything. There's everything wrong with you wanting a knife, a carving knife. What do you need with one? Do you cook? No. Are you even ever in the kitchen? No. So what do you want with a carving knife?
You want to know the truth? I've been sort of thinking of taking up cooking, maybe, okay?
You learn to cook? You can't boil water.
All right, Norman, you don't have to rub it in. Look, I just thought, you're really a nice guy. You're square, but you're nice. And I know I've been giving you a hard time. I mean, I'm out on the town all hours of the night living it up. And, well, we'll be leaving for Paris tomorrow. And they've got a real out-of-sight cooking school there. And I thought if I could just make things up to you. What do you care?
I care a lot. If you're saying that you're thinking of maybe settling down, of acting like a wife when we're married, that is, and don't worry, Agnes will give me a divorce. Well, if that's what you've got in mind, I care. Is that what you're thinking?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's it. What else would have made me decide to learn to cook? What else would have made me buy this knife?
Sandy, will you snap it up? We've got less than 40 minutes to make the plane to Paris.
I'm trying to find that knife.
Knife? What knife?
The carving knife, the one I picked up last night at the flea market. I left it right here on the table when I went to bed, and now it's gone.
Forget it. I'll get you another.
It's got to be here somewhere. You didn't take it,
No,
did you?
me. What would I want with a carving knife? You're the one who's going to take the cooking lesson.
Well, if you didn't take it, where could it have got to?
I don't know, and I don't care. Now, come on, or we'll miss that plane.
Arnold? Huh? Oh, yes, thanks, Agnes. The Scotch and water is easy on the Scotch.
Right. Arnold, you're a psychiatrist. What's wrong with Norman? What's happened to him? Why is he so fascinated by this cheap, common tramp?
I can't answer that. No doctor could. Without at least months of investigation, of talks with Norman, of treatments.
But you must have some theory.
I don't. Some things that happen in this world are beyond us, beyond our understanding. Now consider, Norman had a dream in which a woman tried to stab him to death. The next day, he meets in the flesh the self-same woman of that dream. So he said. Norman is no fool, Agnes. He meets this woman who tried to kill him in his dream, and he's irresistibly drawn to her. Now, is Norman mad? He is not. What, then, is the answer to all this? Who are you?
How can you ask, Norman? Don't you know me?
How would I know you? We've never met?
Oh, yes, we have. And Norman, dearest heart, I am the woman of your dream. The dream woman.
Why do you hold that knife, that long, sharp carving knife?
To kill you, Norman. To kill you.
Oh, why would you want to kill me with that knife?
So you can stay in my world always. Be mine always.
I don't understand.
Oh, dearest heart. Join me. Now!
No!
Yes!
No! No! No!
Yes!
Don't.
Yes!
Take the knife.
Die, Norman!
I can't
Die!
escape the knife.
Die!
No! I've got the knife away from you. Now, you die.
Norman!
Huh?
Norman,
Huh?
stop it!
Die.
Stop it!
Die, damn it.
Norman, you're crazy. You're gone crazy. Norman!
What? Sandy.
What are you, on acid or something? You having a bad trip?
Oh, no. You know better than to ask. Where am I? What happened?
We're in Paris. We're in Paris, France. We've been here for a week. It's 2:30 in the morning, and you've been having a nightmare, and boy, you nearly killed me.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
yeah. Look at me. You've ripped my gown.
Gown. I'm in pajamas. You're wearing a gown?
I just got in. Came into the bedroom, and there you were moaning and tossing. I tried to wake you up, and you attacked me. You grabbed me. You kept trying to look like you were trying to stab me.
You said you'd be home early. You said you wanted to be rested, fresh for tomorrow's ceremony at the Cordon Rouge cooking school.
Yeah, well, the people I was with, they decided to make a night of it, you know? They're still at it. Me, I broke away, so you see, I am home early, Norman.
And stop calling me that. I've asked you a dozen times. Stop calling me Normie.
I'm sorry. Honest, I am. Norman, I don't know what it is with me. I mean, I try. I really try to be the way you want me to be, but I don't know what it is. And it's funny because at first I didn't care what you thought, how you felt, but being with you all these weeks, you're really smooth, Norman. You really are. And I'd like to be more than I am for your sake, but there's just something in me. I just can't control it.
You too.
What do you mean, me too?
Oh, you can't help yourself. I can't help myself. We're in the same boat, Sandy, and I have the feeling it's just begun to sink.
Alors, puis-je demander votre attention, mesdames et messieurs, s'il vous plaît? Ah, merci. Today, as the maître of this particular class in cooking here at Le Cordon Rouge, it is, as you know, my pleasure to award prizes to the 3 best students. I'm delighted to see that Monsieur Norman Meredith has accompanied the beautiful Sandra Lawrence today, because to her goes the first prize. Come forward, Sandy. Venez ici, hein, and accept your award. Avec mes compliments, chérie.
Oh, thank you, your maître. Thank you very much. Shall I open it so everybody can see what it is?
Yes, but of course.
Okay. Oh, hey. It's a knife. A beautiful carving. carving knife.
Take notice, Sherry. The name Le Cordon Rouge inscribed on the handle and your own name on the blade. Monsieur Meredith, are you not proud of Miss Lawrence? Monsieur Meredith, are you ill?
Norman?
No, I just need some fresh air. Excuse me.
You heard me, Norman. Where is the knife?
How do I know?
Now, you listen to me. The first time I met you, when you came to my place in New York, you acted real funny when you found that carving knife on the bar. You remember? And somehow I never saw that knife again. It just disappeared. Because you took it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I don't?
No.
Then what happened to the carving knife I picked up at the flea market in Rome? I know I left it on that table when I went to bed that night, and it wasn't there when I got up, and somehow it disappeared forever.
Just why you're accusing me?
Because you took them and you hid them, or you threw them away, or you did something. And you've done the same thing with my Cordon Rouge knife.
Not me.
Then where is it? Now, you took the knife, Normie. You've taken them all. I don't care about the other two. But this one, it means something to me.
So you won first prize in a cooking class. What's the big deal?
You can say that to me? Listen, I went to that class so I could learn to cook for you. Not for me.
Oh.
And I succeeded. I won first prize. Me, Sandy Lawrence, first prize. I don't care about the knife. I care about what it stands for. And it stands for the fact that I'm falling in love with you, Norman.
Sandy, baby.
Now, don't Sandy baby me. I want my knife. Now, where is it? What have you done with it?
I threw it away, Sandy.
Where?
In the river, in the sand.
Then it's gone.
I'm afraid so, honey.
Norman, how could you do this? Why did you do it?
Well.
Why?
Oh, I guess you might as well know, but because of the dream.
What, the dream about me?
Yes.
What in heaven's name can the dream have to do with knives?
In the dream, you tried to kill me with a knife.
I try to kill you?
With a carving knife. Exactly like the knife I took and threw away. Long, gleaming, razor sharp.
Are you telling me that I'm going to kill you? Stab you to death with a carving knife?
Yes, that's what I'm afraid of, Sandy. It's why I've been throwing away the knives, the carving knives, that you somehow come up with again and again.
You know something? You were out of your head. Just because that first prize is a carving knife is no reason. Monsieur Philippe.
May I come in, Sandy?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Monsieur Meredith.
Hello.
Can I give you a drink?
Oh, no, merci, no. I stay only a minute or two. The fact of the matter is I am somewhat embarrassed to be here.
Embarrassed?
Something has happened which I do not understand. This morning I presented you with a beautiful carving knife. First prize for your work in my cooking class.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, this afternoon, a man come to me. He had been fishing on the banks of the Seine, and his hook had caught on this.
The knife. A carving knife.
Oui, Monsieur Meredith. The knife I gave you, Sandy, as first prize. It is, that's what I say, a puzzle to me, an embarrassment, because the knife could have got into the river only one way. It must have been thrown there, and, well, alors, what I'm trying to say is if you do not want the knife... No, hey, Monsieur Meredith, he has fainted.
Yeah.
Is it something with knives? When I gave it to you this morning, it turned white, looked sick. And now, do knives bother him? Say what?
They kill him, Monsieur Philippe. They kill him.
Well, all things considered, I think they'd kill me, too. It is curious, this affinity Sandra Lawrence has for carving knives. Or they for her. I'll return shortly with Act 3.
Hi, I'm Goldilocks. Miss Goldilocks, if you please. And I'm a professional taste tester. Here at my taste test laboratory, that's TTL for short, I taste test everything from porridge to diet drinks. Actually, there's not that much taste testing in porridge these days. There used to be, once upon a time. I mean, that's how this Miss got into the biz. But lately it's been diet drinks. I mean, with so many diet drinks going sugar-free, I've been really busy conducting taste tests. A rather unbearable assignment, to be sure. But then I discovered sugar-free diet 7-Up. Fresh, natural, delicious. My only problem is that sugar-free diet 7-Up tastes so good that it broke my Goldilocks diet drink taste-o-meter. Well, sugar-free diet 7-Up certainly has my seal of approval. This one's just right.
Here's a timely offer from your participating Culligan man. He will give you a big 34 by 64-inch terry cloth Hey Culligan Man beach towel, a $6.50 value, absolutely free, just for letting him explain Culligan soft water service in your house. He will show you how to pamper your family with refreshing bathing, lustrous shampoos, and spotless dishes. And your Culligan man offers 3 economical ways for you to enjoy unlimited soft water automatically. You have your choice of portable exchange service, the automatic rental plan, or outright purchase. Don't delay. Get all the interesting facts now. This offer is good while limited supplies last. So, whether you own or rent your home, call your Culligan man for your free beach towel featuring the famous Culligan Man and Culligan Gal cartoon characters in 3 bright colors yelling,
Hey, Culligan Man!
82 degrees at Midway Airport on WBBM Chicago.
Can dreams come true? Do they ever? If they do, is Norman Meredith fated to be stabbed to death by the woman who haunts his dreams? The woman he finds irresistible in real life?
Sandy,
Yes, Norman.
tell me where it is.
Well, what is?
You know what. The knife.
Norman, we said we wouldn't talk about it anymore, remember?
I remember you said we wouldn't. When I came into that hotel room in Paris and asked you what you'd done with the knife, you said we wouldn't talk about it anymore. Not me.
I threw it away.
You're a liar.
Norman.
You wouldn't have thrown it away. It meant too much to you. You've hidden it.
All right. I hid it.
Get it.
What, so you can throw it away? No.
Listen to me.
No, Norman, you listen to me for once.
I'm listening.
Now, the first time we met, I was... Well, not what I am now. I was kind of tough. I was kind of coarse. Kind of person I don't want to be anymore because you showed me another kind of life.
Where's the knife?
Listen to me, please. Norman, I'm trying real hard to be the kind of woman who'd be worthy of you, you know? The kind of woman you could really love. The kind of woman you'd marry.
We'll talk about all this later. Right now, I want that knife.
Norman, forget the knife.
Sandy, you get me that knife. Wherever you hid it, get it and give it to me, or so help me out.
All right. Here. You want it? Take it.
You threw it at me. Another inch and it would have...
You wanted it, Norman. You got it. Pick it up.
I'll pick it up. Well, pick it up, all right. I'll pick it up. That's the last you'll ever see of it.
Plenty of others. There's no trick buying a carving knife.
Don't buy no knives. I'm going to get rid of this, and it's the last carving knife we'll ever see in this house.
We'll see about that.
I'm telling
Well,
you...
I'm telling you.
Nothing. You're telling me nothing.
Norman, no.
Nothing.
Oh,
what have I done? I don't understand. I killed her. I've heard it, Dad. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So, Agnes, all I can say is you were right. From the first, right. Was just an aberration or infatuation, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's over. Will you take me back?
Of course, Norman. I never really let you go. But...
Yes?
Are you sure it's over? Done. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, yes. I left her this morning. I told her that everything was over between us. Everything.
What did she say?
Nothing.
She must have said something.
Nothing.
Norman, darling.
I'm sorry. No.
Oh, you poor dear. You're worn out on the ragged edge.
Done for. Through.
No.
Yes, sir. I've ruined our marriage. My business.
Now, that's nonsense.
Never,
our marriage is...
Never be the same. You know it won't, Agnes. Oh, I did. Leaving you, running off with her.
Well, you were caught up in something beyond your control. Too powerful for you to handle. But it's over now. Put it behind you. Begin again.
I can't.
It isn't the end for us, Norman.
It is for her.
What?
It is the end for her.
You mean Sandra Lawrence? Well, yes, in a way, I suppose it is. But her kind, she'll get by. She'll start living again.
Don't say that.
Darling, she will. It isn't all over for her either.
It is. I can't, Agnes.
What kind of nonsense are you talking? Norman, we're not going to talk anymore, not now. I've got to go out for an hour or two, but while I'm gone, I want you to rest. Now, lie down for a while. Will you do that?
Yes.
And, if you feel like a snack, ask Nora to fix something for you.
Nora?
Oh, I haven't had a chance to tell you we have a maid. Nora. Wonderful cook, too. So if you want something, just ask her. You'll find her in the kitchen. She loves it, so she practically hibernates there. What is it, dear?
This isn't a dream, is it? That I'm home with you. I'm not dreaming, am I, Agnes?
If you are, it's no nightmare, darling.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
I am afraid I told a little lie, Arnold. I just said I had to go out for an hour or so, but of course I came straight here to see you.
I'm glad you did, Agnes. I'm as worried about Norman as you are.
He talked about Sandra Lawrence as if he had killed her. I mean, really killed her. When, of course, what he meant was that he felt that he'd ended her happiness, ruined her future.
Oh, excuse me, my nurse. Yes? Captain who? The police. Oh, yes. Put him through. Yes, Captain, this is Dr. Gerstein. Yes? Well, she was a patient of mine. What's that? Stabbed to death? Oh, good heavens, Yes, of course. I'll answer any questions you may have. No, not at all. Goodbye. Agnes, you said you left Norman at home?
Yes.
We'd better go there at once.
Why? Arnold, what is it?
That was the police. Sandra Lawrence was found this afternoon in her apartment, stabbed to death.
Oh. Norman was telling the truth. He did kill her?
It seems likely, Agnes. All too likely.
Norman? Norman? Oh, he's probably in the bedroom asleep.
I'll come with you.
No, it's empty. The kitchen. I told him if he wanted a snack to ask Nora. Nora, have you seen... Nora!
Easy, Agnes.
And Norman on the floor. Knife in his chest.
Hang on to yourself.
Norman sitting at the kitchen table, blood all over it. Norman, dead. Stabbed to death. Oh, this is happening. Am I going out of my mind?
Come with me.
Norman.
Please, Agnes, come with me.
I know.
Now, you just sit here in the living room and let me handle things out there. Nora? That is your name, isn't it, Nora?
Yes.
What happened here?
I don't know. I can't make any sense out of it.
What happened?
He came here into the kitchen. I just started dinner. He stared at me like I was some kind of ghost or something. And then he flung himself at me, grabbed me by the throat, and he was screaming, "I'll kill you once and for all. I'll kill you and be rid of you." I grabbed for something to protect myself with. The carving knife was handy. I grabbed that. And the next thing I knew, he was there on the floor with a knife in his chest. Dead. I killed him. I killed him. But he would have killed me if I hadn't. Why? Why would he have killed you?
Agnes, go back into the living room. Leave this to me.
I want to know. My husband didn't even know you, Nora. Why would he have wanted to kill you? I don't understand.
I do. Or do I?
What do you mean?
When did you hire Nora?
Yesterday. Yesterday morning.
According to the police, that's about the time Sandra Lawrence was murdered.
Well, what of it? What in heaven's name has that to do with Nora?
Look at her, Agnes. Take a good look. Tall, hazel eyes with flecks of green, long blonde hair. You never met her, but I can tell you, Nora is the image to the life of Sandra Lawrence.
So, through one of those strange twists that fate so often takes, Norman Meredith's nightmare became reality, as he always knew it would. I'll be back shortly, just when you think you've passed away.
You remember that.
As I said when we began, little, if anything, is known about the origin of dreams. Where they come from, why they come, what they mean. I can only wish, most sincerely, for all your dreams to be happy ones. But I doubt that they will. Our cast included Kevin McCarthy, Terry Keane, Grace Matthews, and Robert Dryden. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Now, a preview of our next tale.
You're mine, Claude. You gave me your ring.
But I told you...
Claude, you may play with other women. You may deceive other women. But no man in the history of the world has ever deceived me and lived. I am Venus. I am Aphrodite.
But I only...
Hundreds, thousands, numberless races of men on this planet have worshipped me under numberless names. And now, I choose you. You must leave this world. Norman.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by new sugar-free diet 7-Up and Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
This is WBBM Chicago News Radio 78, the correct time, 11:23.
And now, Mystery Theater.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Join me for an interlude in suspense, laden with the chilling fear of the unknown and the unexpected. Out there, in what we are pleased to call the state of nature, the strong kill the weak. Fang and claw provide the only law. Well, man, as you know, is a natural animal. But for countless centuries, he's been trying to change all that, with indifferent success on the whole. But there is hope, because man, after all, has a thing called a conscience. And it works. Not always as promptly or completely as all of us might wish, but it works. And sometimes it may start working before we're even aware of it.
Yes, you've always helped me, Walter. You've always been there when I needed you. I wouldn't be alive today if it weren't for you.
Well, then why, George? Why are you so angry?
I'll tell you why. It's because you're so smug, so righteous, so much better than me.
Am I? When did I ever throw any of it in your face?
You don't have to. You know, that's all. You just know. I can see that air of superiority oozing right through you.
Oh, I'm sorry, George.
So am I. But you have just done me your last good turn.
But, George, what are you doing with that gun?
What do you think? I'm going to kill you.
Our mystery drama, The Deadly Process, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Norman Rose and Ralph Bell. Sometimes a reunion can result in a most traumatic experience. You know, these get-togethers of old army buddies or old college pals. The greatest pain does not really result from the awareness of the thinning hair and the thickening paunch. It comes from the stinging stab of recognition that precious time is now gone forever, and golden opportunity has been irretrievably wasted. And this pain will leave an aching void for a fulfillment that can never come. However, neither Walter Stallings nor George Loomis has arrived at this point of the evening yet.
Hey, George, remember the time you had a thing for that Latin professor's wife?
Oh, yeah. He was at least twice her age, and she was so frustrated, so unhappy. Well, someone had to bring a bit of sunshine into her life. Poor little girl.
Hey, you remember? You were all set to elope with her. I got Red Garrity and Stan Jakowski from the football team to sit on you till I could pound some sense into your head.
Oh, I hated you that day, Walter.
She only meant it as a gag.
I didn't see it then. Actually, Walt, I see a lot of things now.
Oh? Like what?
Well, it seems to me that whenever I was in a real jam, you were always there to bail me out.
Just coincidence.
I don't know if I would have made it without you.
Hey, George, shouldn't you call your wife?
Why?
Oh, won't she be worried?
About what? I told Louise, an old college buddy I hadn't seen in 10 years, had dropped in, and we were going to dinner.
You mean she buys a story like that?
Well, sure. Louise is unlike any girl you or I ever knew. It's as if... Well, she's not of this world.
Oh? Well, which world is she a part of?
Well, no world that you or I ever knew or thought about. It's a kind of a world of the spirit.
The spirit? Sounds spooky.
No. There's a quality to Louise that seems to see. It seems to sense things that are unsaid, unknown.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, yeah. I think you'd be a shock to a system.
New subject. George, why do you think I called you today?
You happen to be in town.
No. I didn't happen to be in town. I came to see you. I heard that you were with Tricon Chemical.
Yeah. I'm just about hanging in there.
Yes, but you are head of special research projects.
Today. Tomorrow I may be out on my ear.
Because you can't come up with an ore reduction process.
How did you know?
Everybody knows. Here, Tricon's sitting on the world's biggest known ore deposit, and you can't figure a profitable way to bring it up.
And that, Walter, may cost me my job.
Now, all is not lost, old buddy. Back in college, you remember Professor Pelham?
Pelham?
Yeah. He was the great authority on the reduction of non-ferrous metallic ores, and I was his star pupil.
Oh, Pelham, of course. I remember that paper you wrote.
The theory was absolutely sound, but the technique was ahead of its time.
But the technology exists today. It can be done. Hey, Walter, I have this feeling you're going to save me again.
I have the paper right here. Are you interested?
Am I interested? Is a drowning man interested in a life preserver? And look, Walter, there's a fortune in it for you.
No, I don't care about the money so much. I'll tell you what I need.
Well, anything, Walter, anything. If this can work out, you're going to be a rich man.
I need the credit. Hey, George, let's call it the Stallings-Loomis process.
But I didn't do anything to...
But you will. You'll have to make certain refinements to adapt it to your particular situation.
Yeah. I have the feeling. I just have the feeling I'm saved. First thing in the morning, I'll get an agreement drawn up.
Oh, come on, George. Two old buddies like you and me, a handshake's enough. Share and share alike. Is it a deal, George?
It's a deal. Mr. Loomis? George Loomis? Who are you? Call me, Mr. Even. Even? Yeah. It's because of what I do. Well, what do you do? I even things up. I don't think I understand. Well, you borrowed some money from some pals of mine. I beg your pardon? And things are kind of shaky. See what I mean? I'm afraid Come on. It's late at night. You want to get home? I want to go home. So these pals of mine naturally eats a lot of dough when they feel consigned. I'll repay the money. These pals of mine, they keep an ear to the ground. They hear things. They hear you may be losing your job. Well, that's ridiculous. Well, that's not for me to say. My pals just want you to know that the dough has got to come through on time, one way or another. You tell your friends that there's nothing to worry about. Not anymore.
George, darling.
Louise.
I didn't hear you come home.
I didn't want to disturb you, my dear.
Why are you sitting up so late?
I'm working.
Well, you can come to bed now, dear.
Well, I haven't finished.
George, dear. I know that you've just seen the answer.
The answer?
The answer to the problem that's been plaguing you for so long.
How do you know?
I know, dearest. I know. I can see it in your face. You have found the answer, haven't you?
I've been considering a new approach.
And?
And it looks promising. It's a highly technical process. It has to do with the separation of certain metallic ores. Well, anyhow, I think I have it licked. I think I have the answer.
The answer? Oh, George, that's what fascinates me. Now, how did you arrive at the answer? Was it a rearrangement of old elements? Or was it the addition of something new? Or was it a sudden flash of insight?
Yes, a sudden flash of insight.
Oh, darling, I'm so happy. I told you. You trust your subconscious. All the meaningful answers are hidden there. Now, tell me about this college friend of yours, Walter Stallings.
Walter... Well,
I would have been glad to join you for dinner.
Oh, I know, dear.
After all, old friends have a certain precious quality.
We weren't exactly old friends.
Oh? I thought you said that he was...
Well, we were acquaintances, really. Nothing more. I only saw him because I didn't want him to think I was snubbing him.
Well, that was very kind of you, darling.
I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
I can't imagine you hurting anyone.
It killed an evening. I suppose such things can't be helped. We can expect a production schedule to be set up for the period from the 15th through... Miss Dawson, you'll have to check that date, and with Kelsey and his people, they have those dates. We must also make sure...
Oh, George.
Hey, Walt.
Nice day.
Let me shut this thing off.
How did I get in here? Well, let's say I sweet-talked that receptionist into looking the other way. Promise you won't fire her.
Oh, I promise.
You are a hard man to see, Georgie.
Well, we're swamped here.
But I sent my name in.
Well, as you can see, I'm dictating. My regular girl is out sick.
Yeah. Well, George, how we doing? Process-wise, you know, the Stallings-Loomis process?
It's in the works.
The works?
Well, as you know, the theory is 100% sound. Now, what manufacturing is doing, they're setting up the cost estimates.
Well, how long do they sit on it?
Oh, a couple of weeks, a month, who knows?
Yeah. Well, I just dropped in, you know.
Sure, I know.
And as soon as you get the word...
You'll be the first to know.
Oh, that's great. Hey, look, how about some lunch, huh?
Oh, we're in such a hassle here, Walter. There's hardly time to grab a sandwich at the desk.
Yeah, as you said, George, it's worth a fortune. You know what I'm going to do with my half?
What?
Nothing. Just sit on the beach and count the waves. I'll have a couple of girls to help me keep score. And champagne.
Well, you'll deserve it. I'll be in touch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it occurs to me, you don't know where I'm staying. I'm at the City Line Motor Inn.
Oh, well, let me write that down.
Yeah, okay. And, look, I really should meet Louise. I'll be on my best behavior.
Well, let me check with her and find out what night she's free.
Loomis, George Loomis, let me be the first to shake your hand.
Mr. Barker.
George, it works. It works. And when you see the bonus you're in for, well, we can talk about that later. The technique works, and we'll call it the Loomis reduction process.
Hey, wait a minute.
Who is this, George?
My name is Walter Stallings, and... Well, if you're saying what I think you're saying, that's my process you're talking about.
George, what is this man saying?
Mr. Barker, he just broke into my office. He's been threatening...
George, what are you saying?
Well, who is he? Do you know him?
Does he know me? We were roommates at college.
What's going on here?
I can explain everything, Mr. Barker.
George, what are you trying to pull?
I knew this man, Mr. Barker, a long time ago at school. He was
George!
He was always a little bit off.
This process, this ore reduction process, it is mine. I created it. It belongs to me.
Now, Walter, you simply can't go around having these tantrums.
Let me call security. We'll have this man removed.
But it's mine. It belongs to me. I discovered it more than 10 years ago.
Sure. Now, Walter, you go home, rest. You'll feel better tomorrow.
George, what are you trying to do to me?
Look here, whoever you are, whatever your name is, you'd better leave now, peacefully and quietly, or I can promise you'll see the inside of a prison cell.
Who do you think you're talking to, you fat old walrus?
Now, Walter.
And you, too. You steal my process, and you think you can throw me in jail.
All right, Walter, that's enough.
You thief.
Now, take it easy, Walter.
Let's call the police.
Sure, let's call the police, and let's give them a good reason for coming. And now, for you, fatty. Back to you, George. Now, you get up.
All right.
You haven't had enough.
You're crazy.
George, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
Why? We ask why also. And yet, it's the oldest story in the world, isn't it? While half a loaf may be better than none, the entire loaf is best of all. The loaf will have to be sliced, and we shall see who will hold the knife when I return shortly with Act 2. In a general way, one should have faith in humanity and trust in one's friends. It's when we leave generalities and come down to specifics that the rub comes in. Walter Stallings trusted George Loomis, and when the dust had settled, George had stolen Walter's valuable industrial process, and Walter was jailed for disorderly conduct when he protested such shabby treatment. Is there no justice? It all depends on what justice really is.
More coffee, darling?
Half a cup, maybe. I should be leaving for the office.
George, what's this in the newspaper? What?
Where, dear?
Darling, it mentions your name. Chemical company executives in brawl?
Oh, that, I should have looked at the paper and slipped that thing out.
Why? What is it?
Well, I know how upsetting things like this can be
George,
to you.
what does this mean?
It means, darling, that people in Mr. Barker's position, my position, can often be at the mercy of every nut, every crank that comes down the pike.
Yes, I don't understand. It says that you stole that process from Walter Stallings.
No, dear, it doesn't say that. It says Walter Stallings claims I stole it.
But it says right here...
There are 4 paragraphs in the story. 3 of them are concerned with what Walter Stallings claims. Notice the sympathetic tone. The 4th paragraph is a brief couple of sentences in which our company denies all of his allegations. That's because he's just one man, and we are a mammoth corporation, and the public will sympathize with the underdog.
But what are the facts, dear? I mean, you did meet with Walter, that's at 10 days or 2 weeks ago.
Of course.
Well, what happened?
We chatted.
Was the process mentioned?
Well...
And did it have anything to do with the meeting you had with Walter?
Yes, we were just sitting around trying to make talk.
But did you talk about the process?
Well, let me tell you how. He said to me, I hear your company's having trouble trying to reduce some ores. And I said, yes. And he said, I'll bet you don't remember. And I said, remember what? And he said, you did a pretty good paper on that back in college. And suddenly...
Yes, dear?
Well, suddenly it all came back to me. Just like that.
What did?
A theoretical problem I'd once solved in an exam. Isn't it remarkable, darling, how quickly we forget so many of the basics?
And that's the process that he's talking about.
Yes, dear, that's the process.
But why should he claim that...
Oh, well, darling, he's a peculiar person. He always was. We were at school together. I got somewhere he didn't.
Well, I think it's awful.
Well, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. After he cools down, after a couple of days in jail, I'll put up his bond.
George, that would be so kind of you.
And I tell you, I think ethically he's entitled to something.
Oh, I'm so happy you feel that way.
Well, I admit I was stumped, up against it. He did contribute something. He reminded me that I had the answer. In that sense, he helped me find it. And in that sense, morally, he's entitled to a finder's fee. When I get the bonus, I'll give him a few $1,000.
Oh, George, I love you so much. George, is that you?
No, it isn't George. It's Walter Stallings. And you must be Louise.
Yes, who...
May I come in?
What?
It does look like a china shop. I promise I won't be a bull.
What are you saying, Mr. Stallings?
Walter, after all, when a woman's husband steals a man's most precious possession, the woman can at least call him by his first name.
But what are you...
What am I doing here? Well, I can't get to see George at the office. They have security guards all over the place.
Please, Mr. Stallings,
Walter, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. I've come to beat the living daylights out of George.
What good would that do?
I didn't say it would do any good. But, my dear Louise, what is left?
Listen, I have a feeling for people. I just know that you're not a bad person.
Oh, is that so?
Actually, you're a very good man. Now, Walter, Why do you insist that my husband stole your formula?
Because it's the truth.
I cannot believe that George, who's so gentle, so kind and sensitive, could think of behaving in such a despicable manner.
I guess you believe that. Oh, yes, it's a lovely little place you have here. Everything seems so delicate. It's peaceful. It's a world of its own. Well, I hope the real world never breaks in here.
But it has broken in.
Well, I'm sorry.
May I get you a cup of tea?
Tea? Here's a woman's husband steals my work and she offers me a cup of tea.
I like you, Walter.
Oh, you like me?
There's something about you that's very straightforward. You're an honest man.
Wait just a minute. Are you saying that I am right and George is wrong?
You can be honest and still be mistaken.
Yeah, sure.
Walter, listen to me. Try to shed your anger.
I am entitled to my anger. I know what happened.
Are you convinced that the formula belongs to you?
Now, look here.
Please, answer.
Yes.
Then you don't need anger. You don't need bitterness.
What do I need?
You need peace of mind, calm, serenity.
I always had those things. It's because my formula's been stolen that I'm no longer serene, calm, peaceful.
If you truly owned those qualities, you could never really lose them.
You know, you're a witch.
Please.
I came in here with blood in my eye, ready to kill. And now...
And now?
Well, now I feel so different. What did you do to me?
Nothing. You probably found yourself.
Yes, I did. I just remembered something.
What?
Oh, the basic relationship that existed between George and me.
And what was that?
Oh, well, you wouldn't want to hear it.
No, if it's the truth.
Well, he was kind of dumb. I was always getting him out of jams.
That's how you saw it.
This is typical of the stupid things he's always done.
You're not supposed to be angry, remember?
Oh, I'm not angry. I bear him no malice. It's his way, and he can't help it. Why did I blow my stack? Oh, wait a minute. Good Lord, I have my proof.
You mean what appears to be proof?
Pelham. Professor Pelham.
Who?
My old metallurgy prof. He's an internationally respected authority. He'd remember. I'm sorry, Louise.
For what?
Well, you love George, and you helped me just now to come up with the evidence that can destroy him.
No, Walter. The truth will never destroy anybody. I had a visitor this afternoon. As a matter of fact, he just left.
Oh?
Walter Stallings.
Walter...
He's really a very sweet person.
Louise, the man is violent.
No, he's just troubled, confused.
Look, if he even made so much as a hint of a threat...
We became friends.
I don't believe it.
Why not? He's just a nice man.
Oh, darling, you don't know anything about...
About what?
About the real world.
Dear, why do you keep insisting I know nothing about the real world? I'm very much aware of it.
He's hysterical, unstable. He could have beaten you. There's only one way to treat wild animals.
Oh, and what's that?
Lock them up.
In the first place, he's not an animal. Secondly, locking people up never solves anything. And thirdly, we found a way to handle the problem.
You what?
He must be made to face reality. And reality is that he must give up these hallucinations that the process belongs to him.
Well, I agree with that completely.
Now, he happened to mention an old college professor.
Oh.
What was the name again? Pelham?
Pelham?
Yes, he said that Pelham could vindicate him.
He said that?
Well, of course. We know it's impossible. Pelham will disillusion him. Well, Professor Pelham will, won't he?
Well, of course.
And thus, Walter will have to face the truth. I gather he respects Pelham, and Pelham has no ulterior motives, so he'll have to accept Pelham's word. So you see, my darling, these things always work themselves out. You don't need violence, force, Where are you going?
Oh, I
I forgot to tell you, I'm due back at the shop.
You have to work again tonight.
I'm afraid so.
Oh, well, try not to stay too late.
Well, I mustn't make a promise I can't keep. I'm afraid I'll be out very late.
What? It's Mr. Stallings.
Good morning, Morty. You're more beautiful than ever. Oh, how I longed for you all these years.
You're still full of your own nonsense.
Can I have a cup of coffee with the professor? What?
The professor. He ain't in.
Oh?
He's gone to one of them conferences.
Where?
One of them foreign countries.
Really?
Yes, he'll be gone a while because he'll go on a sabbatical.
Morty, why are you lying?
Oh, honest, Mr. Stallings.
You don't know how to lie, Morty. You make a horrible mess of it. Now, you tell the professor that I'm here.
But he...
Yes?
Oh, he's in his study.
Thank you, Morty.
Come in.
Hello, Professor.
Why, it's,
Walter Stallings.
Walter. Sit. Find a chair.
Now, what's this bit you're not in?
I'm trying to write my book.
Same book?
Same book. It's good to see you, Walter.
Professor, you are going to save my life. Do you remember a paper I wrote for you, 10, 11 years ago?
It's going back a long time ago.
Yeah, but you said that you'd never forget that paper.
I did?
Yes, it was all about new methods of reduction of non-ferrous metals.
Walter, the years come and go.
But you were so taken with it. You kept the original, and I had to make a copy from my own files.
Walter, if I kept copies of all the papers my students wrote, my home would be a warehouse.
But Professor, you wrote such glowing praise on practically every page.
I'm sorry. I just can't recall it.
Look, I brought the idea in that paper to George Loomis. You recall him, the class dummy?
I don't see
Well,
him.
Believe it or not, he is head of research at Tricon Chemical, and, well, he stole the process from me.
Oh, I can hardly believe this.
I guess he came down here to buy you off, huh?
What? How dare you?
How much did he offer you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I hope that your conscience...
Walter, I really don't remember. Yes, George was here. He offered me a consultantship at Tricon, and I'm getting very old, and I never made any real money.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And Walter, I really don't remember. I really don't remember.
Good night, Professor.
Mr. Stallings.
Yes, Morty.
Forgive him. He's getting senile. That man in there is not the same Professor Pelham you used to worship. I used to worship.
I know, Morty. I know. But what can be done? Oh, nobody can help me now.
Don't say nobody. I can save you. And I can save him.
How, Morty?
I've got the paper.
What? The paper? My paper?
That paper. He kept it for himself because he liked it so much. And then the other day he says to me, Maudie, burn this. Well, I couldn't understand. It just ain't like him.
Oh, Morty, how can I ever thank you?
But why should you thank me? I'm only doing the right thing.
Now I've got him. Now, Mr. George Loomis, look out.
He stands there, Walter Stallings, holding a sheaf of technical-looking typewritten pages. A treatise written with youthful enthusiasm as part of a college exercise. And now, it determines the profits of $1 billion international corporation and the lives of at least 3 human beings. We'll see where the process leads us when I return shortly with Act 3. Somewhere, sometime, someone has surely given us the following advice. Always get it in writing. So much of the anguish of this world results because we fail to heed that advice. Walter Stallings had a problem because he didn't get an agreement from George Loomis in writing. However, luckily, Miraculously, somehow, Walter has managed to come up with the most effective writing of all.
Come in, George. Sit down.
Yes, sir.
George, we have a problem. Stallings is taking us to court.
He hasn't a leg to stand on.
Are you sure?
He's a crank. It's one of those nuisance things.
Are you sure? He has no proof.
Nothing.
Written? Oral?
Absolutely none.
Then we have to fight him. But something bothers me.
What's that?
I've had some research done on him. He seems to be a very competent man. He has a good reputation. What makes you think he can't win in court?
Mr. Barker, he doesn't have a chance in the world.
I hope so, George. For your sake.
Oh, Miss Dawson? No. I won't see anyone. Just tell him I'm out of town.
Hello.
Now, look here, Mr.
Mr. Even. You still owe my pal some money.
Look, I received a promotion. I'm getting a bonus.
Yeah, that was as of yesterday.
But I am getting a bonus.
Yeah, but today is a lawsuit.
Oh.
Yeah, oh.
Well, what does it mean? Big corporations are constantly being sued.
Regardless, if this guy wins...
He can't win.
If he wins, where would it leave you? Out of a job and broke. You see the position I'm in. As a starter, I'd have to bust your legs.
Well, he can't.
He what? Can he win?
He has a chance.
Okay. So now I know where we stand. I know what I gotta do.
I may be wrong.
He has to have no chance at all. I hear somebody coming. I want to make sure it's the right guy. I keep in a shadow, you guys. I'll ask him for a light. If it's him, I'll cough. And then you guys step up and take care of him. Excuse me, pal. You got a light?
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks.
Hey, what?
Chester, hand me his briefcase. I'll see if he's got something interesting in it. Don't take any dough, nothing from his wallet. We gotta make this look like an automobile accident. Just let him lay there. Poor guy. He was crossing the street and some hit-and-run driver knocked him off.
Mr. Stallings.
Walter.
Of course, Walter. Please, come in.
Thank you.
Walter?
Yes?
Is something the matter?
Why do you ask?
There's something about you that...
Yes.
I don't know. It's as if you're not really here. As if I'm...
Imagining it?
No. This isn't a dream or a delusion. I'm awake. I know I'm awake. Look. Hold out your hand. I'd like to touch you. Walter, let me touch your hand. Walter? Walter? Where are you?
Now, darling, it must have been an illusion of some sort.
But I'm so positive.
When did you say it happened?
With exactly 9 o'clock. I was just about to listen to the news.
Darling, here is why he couldn't have been here.
George, why do you insist?
Because at 7 o'clock he was found by a police car.
What?
A hit-and-run driver.
Oh, no.
He was taken to the hospital. He was... almost. He's in a coma. He's not expected to live.
But he was here.
No, darling.
I saw him. We spoke.
Darling, it's your imagination.
I'll go to him. I'll go to the hospital.
You can't. How would it look?
It would look like what it is, a visit from a friend. Walter? Walter?
He can't hear you, Mrs. Lewis.
He can, Doctor. He can. And I can hear him.
Louise.
Yes, Walter.
I had to leave you before... because I wasn't yet.
What are you saying, Walter?
Mrs. Loomis, he isn't saying anything.
Louise, I have to see George. When he mustn't worry. I'll still help him.
Of course. You'll help George.
I've always helped him. I'll still help him after I'm...
Oh, Walt.
Mrs. Loomis, you must leave now.
After I'll come back for George.
Mrs. Loomis.
Yes. Goodbye, Walter. Goodbye for now. Doctor.
I'm sorry, but there isn't a chance in the world. He can hang on for minutes, days, but we can't save him.
But I was just talking to him. You heard.
I heard nothing. He wasn't saying anything.
But I heard him. I heard him.
Mrs. Loomis, it's just your imagination.
A taxi. You don't need a taxi, George. I got a car right here. Step inside.
Where did you come from?
We won't take up too much of your time. Let's drive through the park, Chester. It's such a nice day.
What do you want? I paid off your friends.
I got lots of friends. Like, I got a friend who tells me if he could get his hands on Tricon's proposed development program, it would be worth a fortune. Certain people.
I dare say it would, but I have no use for espionage of any kind.
When can you let me have the plans?
I don't think you hear me.
You're the one who don't understand. Isn't listening. You give me some papers. They describe that ore process. Nobody else knows but the two of us.
You can't keep asking me to do anything like that. You can't. Now, sooner or later, I have to be caught.
You know what that is, Georgie? That's life.
Louise!
She isn't home.
What? Walter. Well, I thought you were in the hospital.
No.
What are you saying? You're here.
Yes. I'm here, but I'm...
Look, either you're crazy or I'm crazy.
George, I'm here because you sent for me.
I sent for you?
You always sent for me, George, one way or another. You always used to bring me all your troubles.
Yeah. And you're always so helpful. Maybe that's why I hated you. You always knew best. You were always right.
I couldn't help that.
Once, just once, I wanted to get the better of you. That's why I had to take your process. I had to.
Yes. Oh, you need me, George. You're in trouble again.
That's a lie.
Look ahead, George. 6 months, a year from now, you'll be completely disgraced.
That isn't true.
It's starting right now. George, that's why I'm here. That's why you wanted to see me. I have to bail you out again.
What can you do?
Come with me, George.
Come where?
Where I'm going.
Where's that?
I don't know yet. Let's go for a little walk. A nice, pleasant little walk down along the river.
Mr. Barker.
May I come in, Louise?
Please do.
Where's George?
Well, I know he was home this afternoon. He might have gone out for a walk. Is something wrong?
I am deeply disturbed. Is it possible that George and this Walter Stallings are in cahoots? Is it a plot to hold up the company, a big shakedown?
Oh, how could you possibly suspect, George?
I was driving down Garfield Boulevard and I saw them. It was just a half hour ago.
Saw whom?
George and this Walter Stallings.
But you couldn't have.
They were walking down the street together.
You saw it?
Like two long-lost friends.
Are you sure?
Look, young lady, I never make a mistake. I know what I saw.
But Walter Stallings is in the hospital in a coma. I was there this morning.
I understand your loyalty to your husband, but I'll bet my life on what I saw. By the time I could turn my car around, they disappeared somewhere down River Street.
Oh, excuse me.
Do you mind if I answer that, Mrs. Loomis? If that's George, I want to confront him without your...
Certainly, Mr. Barker.
Hello?
Is Mrs. Loomis there?
Who's calling?
This is Dr. Coleman.
You can tell me first.
Walter Stallings is dead.
What?
We did all we could. He died an hour ago.
But I just saw him on Garfield Boulevard.
Oh no, sir. You were mistaken. Will you tell Mrs. Loomis?
Yes. Yes. I'll tell Mrs. Loomis.
Walter Stallings. Isn't he?
I guess I was mistaken.
I understand, Mr. Barker.
Funny. But I did see him. I promise you won't say anything to George when you see him.
I promise. I won't say anything to George. If I see him.
If I see him. At that point, she knew. She knew what you and I have already suspected. That she wouldn't see George again. She wasn't really surprised when George's body was found in the river a few days later. She knew it was necessary for Walter to help George once again. And for better or worse, that was the way it had to be. I'll be back for better in a few moments. George Loomis, Walter Stallings. A bond, a mysterious, unbreakable bond forged between two men. Neither asked for it, neither even wanted it. But in life and in death, they would be inseparably linked. And talking about the bonds that link, we hope you'll be bonded to your set for the next mystery tale. Our cast included Norman Rose, Ralph Bell, Marion Seldes, Bob Maxwell, and Jackson Beck. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.